All
No,
right,
you're
hello
fine.
everyone. I am Sacrabalic, and there we go. Your Envoy forgot to mute that page, and welcome to the Cold Topic Podcast, episode 14. I'm here with.
Me, I'm John, aka ConquertheJohn, aka Daddy, and I'm here. And
Oh shit!
speaking of new daddies,
Welcome, Arsic. How's it going? Um, you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm a little tired, but yeah, let's just jump right into the recap. John, how have you been?
um, I've been great. I haven't streamed in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I don't want to, but because of a upcoming topic that we're going to discuss later. No spoilers though. Um, I've been very busy with other things. It's not that
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to stream. It's just that because of my ADHD, I get super obsessive over things sometimes, and
Okay.
I can't do anything but those things, which is super cool.
Okay.
Um, it never pertains to anything that's good or you know,
Productive.
yeah, but it is what it is. So that's literally all I've been up to the last while. I've haven't really done much.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Just future thing. Just future topic. Only thing we done.
That's yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you haven't streamed since the last podcast? Is that?
No, I streamed. I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Uh
We
huh.
didn't. We didn't. We didn't finish match. Zelda. Um, which is it's sad, and we haven't started Spooky Month either. Um, because I've been obsessed with other things.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Good to hear everything's all right, Arsic. Well, I, on the other hand, I believe since the last time I finished Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, which is the final Persona game that we haven't done. So we've now done all of the mainline Persona games on stream before. We went for Pache's viewer request of Undertale. I finished that. I said I was only going to do the neutral route. And I fucking lied because I did do True Pacifist. Because I knew you had to beat the game twice to get True Pacifist, so I'm like, so we're not going to do True Pacifist because I have to beat the game twice. We did it anyway because I found out that you don't need to restart the entire game to get True Pacifist. So as far as I was considered, True Pacifist was just an add-on to the original neutral ending and wasn't its own separate thing. So I like live on stream was like, ah, fuck, I actually have to do True Pacifist.
Well,
It was like 5 minutes of me just going, oh god damn it, I think I have to do this. So we did it. So we did True Pacifist.
and how
And
was it?
how was True Pacifist?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna sound absolutely nuts. The Flowey boss at the end. Spoilers for fucking Undertale, a game that came out several years ago and has circulated the internet more times than fucking pictures of a porn star's asshole.
That's very specific, but go on.
But yeah, Flowey, really good fight. Actually, I had a really good time with him. It was I think the big thing about Undertale that I hate about the combat system is how limited the box is, like the combat arena is to move around in. So when it like opens up for Flowey, it's so much better. I'm like, oh, finally the game is letting me fucking breathe.
Yeah, because that's a small combat
It's
boss.
so
Yeah.
obnoxiously small, yeah. And it's like Flowey's like, you can have the whole screen, and I'm like, finally, the game has gotten fun. But there's so many input. This is true. Like there's so many inputs for the Flowey boss that my fucking hand was just in pain. Like I was having wrist pain at the end of the fight. So I
Yeah.
had to do the True Pacifist route and just like I've like got a wrist brace and everything for like the finale of the game. And then we went on against Azrael, who was weirdly way easier than Flowey. But yeah, it was okay. The I mean, Yeah, like I said on stream, I think Undertale, like the story and the characters and the setting and even the art style and the music, they're all great. I hate playing the game.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I played it. And like everyone's like, this game is like made for you, and I'm like, it is, but I don't like it.
See,
Sorry.
I don't get how the game is supposed to be made for you. I like you mentioned like Mother, John, you are like the last person who should be playing an RPG.
Why? I love RPGs.
You
I just
don't
never.
read.
Who needs to read? Okay, reading is overrated.
Reading
Okay?
is the literal point of an RPG.
Nah, the story just kind of gets played out. You kind of figure it out, you know. I played through most of Final Fantasy X without reading. I was like, fuck that shit.
Most of Final Fantasy X is voiced.
Exactly, that's why it's great. I had a great time playing
I'm talking about I'm talking about RPGs that aren't voiced.
Oh well, I actually know when I played Earthbound and Chrono Trigger, I read every line.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Fair
the
enough.
first
then.
time.
Okay, fair enough.
Now I'm like I've done it once. I don't need to do it again. Now
But what's the point of replaying them?
Because I like the game. The story I already know. You know?
I cannot relate to that at all. That sounds
it's a thing.
fucking bonkers to me. I can't imagine liking the gameplay of like pretty much any RPG enough to replay it for gameplay purposes. Like I don't think there's a single RPG I know of that I would replay for the gameplay other than like Yakuza 0 maybe. Which does that count? I don't know if that counts.
I mean, it's okay. Like I personally like that's why I spread them so far apart. So it's like I know the story and like I like the game and like the gameplay itself. And like every one that I thoroughly enjoy is like different. Like Earthbound has its mechanics, Chrono Trigger has its mechanics, like Octopath. Like they're all kind of different. So when I go back to these games, it's more so because like I just generally enjoy them and like I know the story, but I'm just not gonna read it a second time.
I don't consider Kingdom Hearts an RPG.
No,
it's an action game.
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts is an action game.
Yeah, that's more akin to like I wanted to say God of War, but
no, yeah, it's a lot more like a God of War. Yeah. And God of War is not an RPG.
No, it's not. There's titties in it.
Yeah. That's your counter? That's your argument?
Yeah.
That there's titties in it?
Yeah, you can have. Can you imagine titties in Kingdom Hearts? Like Sora's head, like cock would explode, bro. He'd be like, I feel the power.
I'm sorry. Hold up. Are you making the claim that there are no RPGs with tits in them?
I can't
because
think of
that is objectively false.
I've never played one.
Okay, that I believe, but the claim that there are no RPGs with titties in them is
let me redact that statement.
And provably false statement.
I will redact that statement and say any RPG that I've played.
Okay.
Hasn't had titties in it.
That I might believe. That is more believable than the original statement.
Oh, that's 100% fair. You know, I mean, I play RPGs, but it really has to be something I'm super interested in before I even get into it. Like Final Fantasy X is the first Final Fantasy game I played in. I don't even know. I think the last one I played, unfortunately, was like Mystic Quest on SNES. It's been a while.
Well, you played Persona 5 and like Yaxini has her tits out.
Yeah, I mean,
so does Ragna.
I mean, okay, so I got halfway there.
Yeah.
I got just a taste of the RPG titty.
Yeah.
like a small nibble.
It was like such a bold claim of like, hold up, what?
Wait a sec.
Wait, that's super not true.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, that's right. I played Trials of Mana too, but that's fully voice acted. I actually started playing the Super Nintendo version, and boy, does that one not stack up to the remake? So, yeah, the remake's better.
I think I think the Super is that the one with the tree, or no? That's Secrets of Mana.
Not Secrets of Mana. Trials of Mana came out for Super Nintendo, but it was only in Japan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
always
I got
get
the
mixed up which
translation.
mana game I actually played.
Yeah, nine times out of 10, it's Secret of Mana.
Excuse me. Yeah. It was
Secret of Mana is very
there
good.
was Secret of Mana, and then there was another Mana game that came out after Secret of Mana that I played a little bit of, but not all the way.
Probably Legend of Mana.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Fun fact about Mana, it's actually a Final Fantasy spin-off.
that makes sense.
Yeah, because it
Yeah,
was originally came from a game called Final Fantasy Gaiden, and then that turned into the Mana series. So
yeah. There's not that much chaos in Secret of Mana, like that series. So I wouldn't be able to make that connection unless I saw more chaos.
I don't think Chaos is in every Final Fantasy.
He's in our hearts, Zach. He's in our hearts every time we play a Kingdom Hearts game. I mean, it's Final Fantasy game.
Okay. Let's just say I don't think Chaos is in like 9 or 10
No,
or
shout out to Christopher
13.
Sabat. Yeah, shout out to
7.
Christopher Sabat for voicing him in the new game.
I don't think Chaos
He's
is in
there.
any Final
He's
Fantasy
there.
game I've played except for like 1.
He's there in our hearts, man. I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
If you
He's
look
there
deeper,
He's there spiritually.
yeah, you got to think in sin is just chaos in like gross form.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Sephiroth is like sin's child. There you go.
Okay.
Those are the only like big bosses I can name off the top of my head.
Kafka, Sephiroth, Kujas, also Necron, Ultimecia, Sin, Orphan. Oh, if I want to keep going, there's also X-Death, Cloud of Darkness, the Emperor of, I want to say, Palmecia. I'm not going to name every Final Fantasy villain. I just realized that's what I was doing. I'm like, that's not interesting. I'm not going to just sit here and name every Final Fantasy villain.
Then I'll do it. Fuck it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Who did I miss then?
I don't know. I have no idea. I only
Okay.
know 3. I literally only know those 3.
You already beat me. You're already done.
Because I've only ever played those 3 and beat them.
There's one I always forget. I think it's the Final Fantasy 3 boss. I always fucking forget about. I remember looking it up
6.
live on stream and going, "Who the fuck is that?"
Fair.
Anyway, yeah. What the fuck were we talking about before? We were talking about RPGs and tits in them. You played an RPG. Oh yeah, I did Eternal Punishment. That's what I was saying. Oh yeah, Undertale. That's right. That's what we're. Yeah, so we did Undertale on stream. I got the True Pacifist ending. I went all the way through that. It's a okay. Like I like the game, but I hate playing the game. It's kind of it's almost like Bloodborne in that regard, where I hate the act of sitting down and playing it, but I don't actually hate the game itself. If that makes any sense.
I love Bloodborne.
I hate playing it. I just don't hate the game itself. Like I'm okay with like watching it and like stuff like that, but like and like reading about it and shit. But I cannot. I hate the gameplay so much of that game, and
that's what I didn't like.
I feel very much the same way about Undertale. Like I'll watch it and I'll talk about it and like there's things to appreciate in it, but dear God, the act of playing it makes me incredibly angry. Playing it for like more than 5 seconds. There's so many like little gameplay decisions that they made during the course of the game that I just drive me up the fucking wall. I just cannot stand them.
Well, it's good because you got farther than I did. Because I believe I made it to like the first boss and said, "Fuck this game."
Oh, Papyrus, yeah.
Yeah, not because it was hard, just because like I was just bored.
Yeah. And then we started Horror Month. We started it a little early, because, I thought just doing one, because I only had one stream before October starts, and we're supposed to do Pokemon X, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do one Pokemon stream.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah.
Like, that just seems weird. So we started early. We did Silent Hill 4 The Room, We beat it, got all the way to the end of the game, and guess what, John?
What?
I got the bad ending.
Oops.
Okay, I actually got one of the good endings, but I got one of the bad good endings. I didn't get the best ending. I got the ending where Eileen dies, but you do escape the room. There's also an ending where Eileen doesn't die, but you don't escape the room. And I got super fucking mad about it, because I was told you could heal Eileen right before the final boss. Because if she's too injured, she kills herself way too quickly. To do it. Like, your actual walking speed and the speed of the animations takes longer than the amount of time it takes her to kill herself.
Yeah.
So it's not one of those, if you're really good, no, she'll just straight up die. Like, no matter what. I'm pretty sure it's impossible if she's too injured to save her at all. Like, just outright impossible. So what I did is I got super fucking mad about it. And yesterday, off stream, I replayed the entirety of Silent Hill 4, The Room. Start to finish.
Of course you did.
Replayed it, saved in front of the door, and then I started today my shortest stream ever.
I saw that earlier. I was at work and
It
I saw you
lasted
post that.
17 minutes. Here's what the stream entailed. I started the game in front of the final boss. I went into the final boss. I killed the final boss. I watched the end of the game in the credits. I ended the stream. It lasted 17 minutes. I was so fucking mad. I replayed the entire game and then did a 20-minute stream of just the ending. Which is very in character, because everyone knows the motto of my stream is, we will beat the game by any means necessary.
See, my motto is, we'll beat the game eventually.
Maybe.
we'll get to it. It might take a year, but we'll get to it.
So, Silent Hill 4, The Room, knocked that shit off. Next game is going to be Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly, which I think the bad ending is the canon ending. So, that's going to be easy for me. That's going to be easy to attain. And we're also going to be starting Resident Evil 5 pretty soon.
Yeah, next weekend.
Sure. I will do it with or without you, by the way.
Fair
I already told chat that. I already said if you delay, I'm playing it anyway.
I assume so. No, I was going to talk to you about that. I'm like, I can't guarantee that I'm going to feel good every weekend.
That's fine.
I actually feel like garbage right now, so.
Oh, shoot. You didn't talk about that. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine, yeah. I just, I got the pre-diabetes.
Oh, right. Yeah, oh, yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
So I'm on medicine and on a very strict diet, so I don't get the diabetes. So
is that a new thing, like a permanent thing, or is it a temporary?
They said if I do good in like 3 months, my chances will go to like way down.
Okay, all right. So it's about 3 months of being awful then.
Correct, yeah, and which is a good time because 3 months from now I'm going on my trip to California, where I'm going to eat shitty anyways.
Okay.
Perfect.
That sounds completely counterintuitive.
Probably, but I'm going to California and there's like mad food over there. I just need to eat.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's mostly my sugar because I do sometimes, not intentionally, but drink like 4 monsters a day, and those are loaded with sugar.
Get Monster Zeros.
That's what I started doing now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I don't have pre-diabetes. I'm not like, according to my doctor, I'm not like anywhere close to being like diabetic or anything. I get Monster Zero anyway. I've made an active effort to cut down my sugars. Also welcome, Made.
Yeah, the sugar wasn't anything I really thought, because the only thing I really like drink or eat that sugar in is Monsters, really. So I never really thought of it. Like even like my coffee creamer is sugar free. So. Yeah, but they're like, hey, if it runs your family, like, stop being an idiot. And I'm like, cool.
Just to be clear, you're not getting anything with aspartame in it, are you? As like a central ingredient?
No.
Okay, because aspartame, I believe, is carcinogenic. I have heard it's carcinogenic. Don't sue me, aspartame.
Big air quotes.
I heard it from a guy. It was carcinogenic, so that's why I always try to avoid it.
No, I just have stuff for my blood pressure because apparently that's a little up too. So just
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
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 So yeah,
Well, speaking of medical things, I actually went to the hospital to get my medical tests. I got my abdominal ultrasound and my chest X-ray. I'm
how'd that
supposed to
go?
hear back from my doctor on Monday about it, but I looked over the results myself, and they look pretty damn good. I debated even not setting up a doctor's appointment to go over the results, but then I was like, "Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I should have probably an actual professional look at these." But to me, they look damn good. So,
Yeah, that's happened to me because like when I did my blood test, they sent it to me, and I looked at them like, oh, these look good. And then like the person called me like 30 minutes later, and she's like, yeah, you should unfuck yourself. And I'm like, all right, I feel
um,
that.
so yeah, no, I mean, like, I think it looks good to me, but I decided, let's make sure.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything worrying. But I didn't go to medical school, so what the fuck do I know? I'm still gonna like pop into my cardiologist next month, but I'm not. I think I'm just done. I think I'm over this. Also, I started. My doctor told me not to work out anymore. Started
Yeah.
working out again. Didn't fucking listen. Think I'm actually starting to feel better. I think part of my problem was I was just like 4 months of inactivity was driving me crazy. Um, so I'm doing a very light exercise to try and like get my heart rate up a little bit at a time rather than just like all at once, so I don't start having heart problems or something. But
No, that's really good. Like that's one of the things I need to start doing is getting in shape. I want to lose like 10 or 15 pounds before I go to the gym.
hmm.
Mostly because, being fat and going to the gym is awful. So if I
Oh
my theory is
no.
if I lose like 10 pounds, like it'll be a lot easier for me and I won't
No,
be like
John,
as fat.
John, John, I'm gonna stop you right there. You got to go to the gym now if you're thinking about going to the gym. If you were like, "Oh, I got to lose 10 pounds before I go to the gym," you're unnecessarily limiting yourself and making it so you're putting an inherent blocker that you have caused in front of your own health. It makes more sense to go to the gym now, get healthy, and then look at your improvement. And ain't no one gonna judge you at the gym, even if you're there and you're all heavy and shit, because they'll be as long as you're actually working, because they'll be like, "Hey, he's working on himself. Good for him." All right, that's the gym mentality. If you're there and you're doing the work, people don't care that you're overweight. In fact, they'll be like, "Hell yeah, man! You fucking do it. You take control of your life." So don't put your blockers on there. Be like, "Oh, I'll lose 10 pounds." Who knows when you'll lose 10 pounds? Get to the fucking gym.
Zach, I really just don't want to go to the gym.
Nobody wants to go to the gym, John.
I don't. It's so stinky in there. I don't like
No,
it.
don't go to Planet Fitness though.
Well,
Planet
unfortunately,
Fitness
that's
is not
where.
a real gym.
Unfortunately, that's
Allegedly.
where the membership is. Yeah, yeah. Megan has one of the black cards from there, so unfortunately, that's where I have to go.
Unfortunately, that's where you have to go.
Yeah, because I used
Yeah,
to go to Gold's Gym back in the day when I used to like work
Gold's
out
Gym
all
is
the time.
decent. Gold's Gym is
Yeah,
decent. Planet Fitness,
and
the Judgment Free Zone, is like one of the judgiest gyms.
yeah, so I really don't want to go there.
It gets criticized a lot for that.
We're a judgment-free zone, and everyone's like looking at you like fatty, and I'm like, I'm not fat. I'm just big boned.
No, well, I mean, if it helps, most of the judgment I see from Planet Fitness is for people who are in shape.
Oh, well, that's
It's a
fair. Yeah.
judgment free zone unless you're actually there to be, unless you're actually fit, and then they hate you.
I mean, realistically, that she's like, yeah, you only really need to lose like 20 pounds. So I'm like, okay, that's not bad.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
yeah, that's something
Um,
like it.
One thing I will say about my chest X-ray, I'm very disappointed. I didn't get a look at my chest X-ray. Now I don't know if I want to look at my chest X-ray, but I'm disappointed I haven't been given the option to look at my chest X-ray.
That's kind of weird. Yeah.
I was like, oh man. No, I'm not sure I want to know what my organs look like. But
Well, I mean,
I would like the option. I also don't like X-rays because X-rays are ionizing radiation. I think it's a very brief amount of time. That's why they're allowed to use it for like medical purposes. But it just it feels weird. Not when it hits you, by the way. I first time I ever had an X-ray, you literally don't feel it. But the knowledge that you just got bombarded by radiation, I'm not a big fan of. So.
See, my next time I go get an X-ray, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get bit by a spider and then immediately go there and maybe turn into Spider-Man.
Cool. Pretty sure the spider was genetically altered, and that's why it gave him superpowers.
Well, I'm trying to.
I mean, it was a radioactive spider that had been genetically altered.
Zach, I'm trying to skip the line, okay?
I'm just saying, I think you have to do it I think the spider, it has to be mutant.
Okay, fine.
I don't think you getting hit with radiation. You're more likely to turn into the Hulk or something.
Well, that would be even better.
Would it? I'd rather be Spider-Man than the Hulk.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the Hulk, though.
I mean, Spider-Man once punched the Hulk into space, so.
Didn't we all?
No?
Oh. Just me? Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's a you you and Spider-Man thing.
Weird flex, but I once punched the Hulk into space.
I feel like Thor probably did it once too.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Hyperion. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man doesn't have you and Spider-Man don't have exclusivity on that, but
yeah, we're just two kids from Queens that did it.
Yes. Probably the only two kids from Queens.
Yeah, I'm
pretty sure no one else that punched the Hulk into space is from Queens.
I just want to make it clear that I'm not from Queens.
Well,
yeah, my Massachusetts brethren would probably be very upset if I went with that. 15 stitches.
He got bit by a radioactive rat. Did he get rat powers? No, he got 15 stitches. That's a pretty good line. Anyway, other thing I've been up to. New episode of Water dropped. Water 14. I'd been working on that for 4 fucking months. And it finally came out. So I'm going to talk about it. Excuse me. We talked about Ore Sukaban, which is a Go Nagai project about a boy who is forced to attend school while cross-dressing, despite the fact that the school is co-ed.
Okay. Seems like being a cross-dresser with extra steps.
He was forced into it by his mom. Sukaban Daka, which is one of the like shittiest animated, like it has like some of the shittiest animation I've ever seen in any show. But was actually pretty good. John, no, don't. John, when we're talking about worst animation in anime, don't even. Skycrawlers isn't worth mentioning.
Fair enough.
You haven't seen the bottom of the barrel yet.
I don't know. I think we'll talk about it later, but
you haven't seen John. I have seen animation I could do.
What, Shin-Chan?
No, Shin-Chan's actually pretty decently animated.
Yeah, no, Shin-Chan's great, yeah.
Yeah, no, My Little Sister is an Osaka Mama is a decent show, really bad animation. Sukaban Daka, not great animation either. Better than Osaka Mama, but not good. Anyway, yeah, it was based on like a really long-running manga, and they adapted it in like 3 episodes.
Okay.
It had like hundreds of chapters, and they did it in 3 episodes. Weirdly enough, it made total sense. Pretty solid watch. Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I talk more about Yu-Gi-Oh! I talk for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX for like 7-8 minutes. Like, I just do not shut up about Yu-Gi-Oh! GX in this episode. Kanata no Astra, which is Astra Lost in Space, which I believe is a 2019 anime. Karakuri Circus, which is another several hundred. It's like a 42 volume manga that was adapted in like 39 episodes. Still pretty damn good. I hear they completely botched the anime, which, you know, like I say in the video, if like that's the botch, the original must be fucking and like must be a damn near masterpiece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see. Would you fall in? It's fucking hold up.
That's a weird name for a show.
No, it's like would you fall for a cutie even if would you fall for a pervert if she's a cutie or something like that? It's a very long title, which is about a guy who gets a pair of panties and a love letter, and he has to try and figure out which of the girls around him gave him the panties and the love letter. And he finds out that all of the girls that are around him are really into their fetishes.
Okay. Oh, were you talking about this last time?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
But
okay.
my episode
this sounds very familiar.
Yeah, my episode of Water hadn't come out yet, and then Special 7, which is about a fucking police unit that investigates magic bullshit crimes.
All right.
And
Magic lawyers, magic policemen. All right, I got it.
Yeah. Honestly, all it made me do was wish that Copcraft had a better budget. Because Copcraft was the same plot, but better. Wise Man's Grandchild is an isekai. I'm not going to elaborate on it. Watch my episode if you care. And I watched Demon Slayer, both the TV anime and the Mugen Train movie, which you are wearing a shirt of, I noticed.
I am. Sponsored by Target. Not sponsored by Target.
You got it at Target?
Yeah, I just walk. They have some sweet shirts, so I just go pick one up every once in a while.
Target's got some really sick-ass shirts, yeah.
Yeah, no. they really stepped up their shirt game, man, I'll tell you.
Yeah, if I needed to get shirts, I'd get it at Target.
That's the best part about working in a mall. I just walk over on my break or whatever.
And just pick up a shirt?
Yeah, just grab a shirt, man.
I gotta say, the shirt is styling, even if Demon Slayer sucks.
I like it.
That's okay. It still sucks.
Fair. It sucks.
I'm willing to go hard on Demon Slayer. Everyone is like, when this fucking show came out, everyone was like, it's such a. We lost like 3 viewers from that one line, by the way, and I don't even regret it. But yeah, everyone talked about how like great Demon Slayer was. It's like, is this the greatest shonen ever? No, it isn't.
No, it's just not the greatest shonen. It's I liked it. It's enjoy. I also like demons and stuff. So
whenever anyone says it's the greatest shonen ever, you can pretty much, unless they say it about One Piece or maybe Hunter x Hunter, you can pretty much be like, oh, this motherfucker does not watch anime. Or does not watch shonen. At least. They have no idea what they're fucking talking about. Because unless your answer is like Hunter x Hunter or One Piece, if you say this is the greatest shonen ever, you're almost certainly wrong. Because for the record, it's One Piece. One Piece is the greatest shonen ever. It's not Hunter x Hunter. And I have seen Hunter x Hunter and read Hunter x Hunter. It's not Hunter x Hunter. It is One Piece. But I will accept Hunter x Hunter if you want to be a fucking crazy person because you jerked off over the ant arc.
Yeah.
Also got some new quotes. I'm sorry, I'm just dominating the recap. I did so much shit.
I didn't, so it's fine.
You came in with I did nothing.
I found out I might get diabetes and did nothing.
Yeah, that's, you know what? Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I would want to do with in that case. Let's see. Quote 53. Right now, I need a barbecue child. Persona 2, Eternal Punishment. Quote 54. We all know I love old ladies with sex toys. Persona 2, Eternal Punishment. I don't remember the context for that one at all.
I want to know
now. Quote 55. This one's great. Bestiality? Disgusting. I'd love to try it sometime. Undertale.
Jesus Christ.
I do remember the context for that one, and I won't elaborate. There is a clip of it on my channel. That one actually got clipped. We did it. We cheated. Undertale. And this one, I think, just summarizes the entire franchise. All right, let's check these holes out. Silent Hill 4: The Rim.
Silent Hill.
Huh?
Oh, I was saying hi to Wholesome.
Oh, hey, Bone, what's up? Yeah, Kurapika's cool. Um, Silent Hill as a franchise is a series about going into fucking dark holes and not knowing where the fuck you're gonna end up. That's the whole series, really. You just jump down a hole and be like, "Oh, I hope I don't die." I didn't die.
Well, it sounds like most games.
Like if you have you played Silent Hill?
I have not.
Okay, if you went
Big
through
shock.
the first four Silent Hill games and possibly even beyond that, you would realize the sheer amount of holes. Like there are games with holes, and then there's Silent Hill.
And then the movie with Shia LaBeouf called Holes that has Sigourney Weaver in it.
There is as many holes in that movie as there is in Silent Hill. Silent Hill has that many holes. There's also a book called Holes that the movie was based on.
Yeah, I read that in, I don't know, elementary school thing. I don't remember.
And a sequel called Small Steps.
No, I did not know how to sequel.
It does. I
See,
think they
we're
made a
learning
movie about Small Steps, even. Maybe. Don't quote me on that one.
No, I'm not gonna quote you.
Yeah, don't. Okay, I think that's everything, right? I think that's everything we talked about.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Moving on to the first topic, which I believe is Yakuza.
Yes, Yakuza Kiwami is a game I played. I got tired of waiting for Mac Tier to request this as his viewer request, so I played it off stream. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling. I noticed I played this game when I was feeling like really bad for a while, and I realized that like action games seem to make me feel better for whatever reason. I guess I dived into them better than I did like RPGs or anything. So I went for Yakuza because I thought it would be, because Yakuza 0 has like the greatest combat system I've ever experienced in a video game. So. So yeah, Yakuza Kiwami, you play Kazuma Kiryu, but this is like 20 years later, so it's like the early 2000s, and he's looking to become the next, become a leader of his own family, in the Yakuza, and then he ends up taking the fall when his friend commits murder. After their other friend gets raped by the head of the the head of the Yakuza. So the Tojo clan, that's what they're called. And so he gets out of jail, and his friend is gone to the dark side and is trying to like create a violent uprising and take over the gang. And also at the same time, you as Kiryu are looking for Yumi, who was the woman who got raped previously, and also like your longtime friend who's gone missing lately. And you also encounter her daughter Haruka. I should probably remember this. Who is the daughter of Yumi's sister. So, you should play Devil May Cry again. I blistered my hands playing TMC3. Unnecessary, but I should play Devil May Cry again just in general. Yeah, so the thing about Yakuza 0 is it had amazing side quests and like a really shitty main storyline about buying property. But Yakuza, the side quests in this game are a lot weaker than the first game, and I actually think the combat system is a lot weaker than 0 also. I say the first game. I mean than 0. First game I played, I should say. But the Haruka, thank you. But the main storyline is like really, really fucking good in this one. I don't want to get too into it, even though the game is like 20 years old, like the original Yakuza. Like Yakuza 1, I think, is like 20 years old, so I don't know why I'm so reluctant to spoil it. But it's a fucking treat, and if anyone has the ability to play the original Yakuza or Yakuza Kiwami, highly recommend it. I think
It is on Game Pass.
I think it's actually probably better than Yakuza 0, even if the side quests aren't as good, just because the main quest is so much better, so much tighter, and I think it really, like, because it doesn't have to fit into the prequel territory, because it was designed to be the first game, it manages to create so much better, like, more meaningful, like, character arcs. This is the game where you really understand why Kiryu is the dragon in the title. Those that don't know, the Japanese title for Yakuza is Like a Dragon. and Kiryu is the titular dragon. So you like in this game, you really understand. Okay, I get the dragon comparison. I get why he's the dragon of Dojima.
Fair enough.
Welcome back, Tier.
What up,
Yeah.
man?
Pretty damn good game. It's not one of those games where I finished and I'm like, this deserves a spot at the like top 10 of the favorite list, like Bravely Second or Fire Emblem Three Houses, but undoubtedly a really, really good game, and I would pretty much recommend it. And since we've started doing skip, rent, or buy, I would say Kiwami is... I'd give it a buy. I'd say this is a buy.
All right.
Yeah. I'm sorry I danced around this a little more, but because it's a buy, I don't want to spoil it. I think that's kind of how I want to like do it now that we're doing the like skip, rent, or buy thing. Is that it's like I think if it's a rent, I'll spoil the shit out of it. I don't give a fuck. And if it's a skip, absolutely okay with spoilers. With a buy, I'm a little more dicey, you know.
No,
unless I feel like the spoilers are integral to the pitch of why you should get the game, but I don't in this one. I think it's just a solid all around time. So get Kiwami through PS Plus. This is a good way to do it. I'm willing to move on from this.
All of them are on Game Pass.
There is a system in the game called the Majima Everywhere system, which is actually obnoxious, though, because it levels up your dragon fighting style, and it's like the worst part of the game is having to fucking deal with Majima. Because when you're trying to level up your dragon system, you have to hunt his ass down. I had to, like, walk in and out of restaurants several times just to get him to spawn into certain locations. It's really annoying. When he shows up to like fuck with you in like business locations, it's a lot better. Like you go into the bowling alley and Majima's like, "Hey, Kiryu-chan, what's up? Let's bowl." Which is fucking, by the way, I love this about Majima, because if you beat him in a fight, he doesn't care. He's happy about it. If you beat him in like darts, he's happy about it. You beat him in like baseball, he's happy about it. If you beat him in bowling, he gets really fucking mad at you.
Dude takes his bowling seriously.
The thing about it, though, is that one of Kiryu's traits that is established, at least in Zero and in this game, is that Kiryu is damn near, like, Kiryu could go pro with his bowling skills. He's that good of a bowler. So
all right.
And Majima is like, "God damn it, shut." And I think part of what makes Majima so angry is because Kiryu knows he's a damn good bowler, so he starts bragging about it, and Majima's like, "Oh, shut up, fuck you." Whereas, like, usually Kiryu's like, "Hey, you put up a good fight, Majima." Whereas when you beat him in bowling, Kiryu's like, "Yeah, I don't know why you challenged me to bowling." That was your mistake. Oh yeah,
I own these lanes, bitch.
Yeah. Get out of my fucking alley. You also get to do Pocket Circuit, which just felt generally less fun than Zero. I don't know why it was so much more fun in Zero. But Pocket Circuit makes its return from Zero. You get to challenge Majima to Pocket Circuit. There is this game, and hold up. I said I was done with Yakuza. I fucking lied to you. People, if you watch the VOD on YouTube, you're gonna be like, "He said he's done with Yakuza." You notice that I have half a fucking segment of Yakuza left. There's this card game called Mesu King, which presents itself as rock, paper, scissors, but you only play it in Sega arcades, and you have these cards with the rock, paper, scissors, and on it are like scantily clad women in fucking insect costumes. And at first I was like, "This is fucking terrible. Why do I have to play this stupid rock, paper, scissors game?" And then by the time I was done with the rock, paper, scissors game, I'm like, "This is a pretty cool card game." Because I realized it's not just rock, paper, scissors. There's a strategy to it. And the strategy is to always pick rock.
All right.
I mean paper.
Pretty solid strategy.
I mean paper. The strategy is to always pick paper. Uh, yeah, so Mesu King was pretty cool. Oh yeah, you also get to go to host club. Oh yeah, Majima challenges you to a Mesu King game. He's not good at it. Uh, yeah, you also get to go to hostess clubs and you get to date hostesses. And then when you're done, you are awarded when you like fully romance the hostess. You are awarded with a live action video of just softcore porn of the actress portraying the hostess, I think.
Oh.
And the game
Weird
doesn't
flex.
warn you about this. So the first time I did it, I was playing it, I'm like, I did it! And then this fucking live action video comes on, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
What is this?
They're like in their underwear, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? I think they're unskippable too. I think I tried to skip one and it just didn't work, and I'm like, oh dear. I mean, they're attractive ladies. It's just like I'm trying to play a fucking Yakuza game over here, not stare down a pretty lady.
I mean, that'll happen.
Yeah, that'll happen. You'll just be fucking created with live action videos. Um, Anyway, yeah. Oh, and this is cool. If you go into Hostess Club, Majima can be in there, and you have to date Majima.
Oh, okay.
You have to romance Majima, so that's fun. He just puts on a dress and a wig, and
Okay.
changes his name to Garomi, but he's still Majima. He still has the eye patch and like the eye and the like eyeliner and the goatee. It's a fun time though. It's a good game. Good game. All right,
Buy it.
now I think I'm done.
All right, moving right along to the next topic,
Oh, and I
which
forgot
is
to
my
mention this in recap. Grandma Sack has finally moved on to Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. So everyone give Grandma Sack a hand. All right. Moving on. Next topic.
All right, this is my topic. This is my latest obsession. This is why I haven't been streaming the last 2 weeks. It's New World. So yeah, like I was saying, I have a very obsessive
New world.
I have a very obsessive disorder when it comes to games sometimes, especially with MMOs. That's why typically I try not to play them, because I just get so deeply involved in the game and the mechanics and everything, especially when you got friends playing and stuff. So, my friends convinced me to buy this game because I was like, maybe I'll just play it for a couple days, whatever. It's only $40. I have put over 120 hours into this game since it launched last week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing.
That's a thing.
Um, that is a thing. I will say it's an incredibly fun game. The first couple days were annoying with some of the queue issues, but that is like literally non-existent anymore because they fixed a whole bunch of stuff after updates and stuff. Other than that, I mean, this game is fantastic. I would like to stream it, but I don't see myself being able to. That's why I haven't. I considered it a few times, but I'm just having a lot of fun with it, and it's one of those things where like sometimes you got to keep your work and play separate.
I understand
Uh,
fully.
yeah, but as yeah, like it's a whole thing. Like there's wars and stuff. Like you get to fight to claim territories. It's a lot of fun. It's very in depth, and it's a lot of fun too. It's not like your typical MMO type thing. It's kind of like more like the play style, like something like BDO, stuff like that. It's not like
BDO.
Black Desert Online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, acronyms. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm having a great time with it. I play a healing class because nobody else would do it, so I figured, hey, I'll do it. So I've committed to that, which makes me actually a pretty important guy in this game because nobody wants to play fucking healer apparently.
Nobody wants to play healer in any MMO. That's how you become the coolest guy in the party.
Yeah, I'm the coolest guy in the party. Yeah, I feel very nice about it. The thing that sucks is that since I've been doing nothing but playing this, I have unfortunately not been able to do other things,
Hmm.
which is really annoying. I literally played this game 15 hours straight, like last Wednesday.
Don't do that.
And Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Um, my girlfriend was gone for the day. I had nothing to do, so I just literally just sat down from 9 o'clock until almost 4 o'clock in the morning and just played nothing but this. It was a ride. It was fun. Um, that's where I've been for the last 2 weeks. If anyone's wondered, um, I wasn't ignoring anyone. I haven't been dead. I'm very much still alive. I'm in another world currently. I'm in a new world, in fact.
Um,
Please
uh,
clap.
I don't think that was audible. I'm pretty sure NVIDIA Broadcast filtered out that sound, but you saw my hands move.
I did.
Um,
Yeah, I just saw it. In fact, yeah.
so many questions I have about this. First off, this got recommended to me on Steam, and I ignored
Yeah.
it. Hey, Kaido, what's
Hey,
going on? How
what's
you
up, Taylor?
doing? And I ignored it. I'm like, oh, that looks cool, but I couldn't find it again. And
Yeah.
then when I was taking the image for the stream to set up, I found out that this was an MMO, and I was like, oh, I've lost all interest in this.
No, it's definitely a huge time sink. Like obviously, like I said, I played 120 hours.
I just want to, real quick, analyze the image because what I see here is what appears to be a revolutionary style man. Good old 1700s fighting style, tricorn hat, and a musket. That's cool. Then, behind him appears to be, I believe, another man in a sort of Nordic Viking garb, but with a giant metal shield. Then behind that appears to be a knight in full plate armor and a massive maul that's, by the way, way too big to be practically used. And then behind that is another person with a sword, and then there appears to be someone with a recurve bow, a tricorn hat on, and then some kind of wizard in the background, and a sort of greenery, almost like South American esque area across from what just appears to be generic fantasy hell world. Like, what the fuck? And I can't help but like notice that you only described you playing this game and having fun with it, and not what the fuck is happening in this game. What am I looking at right now?
So what you're looking at on the right side of the image with all the green is actually the continent. I can't remember the name of the fucking place, but
New World.
and the yeah, I think it's like Eternium or some shit. I don't remember. So that's what you're seeing on the other side. You're seeing there's like portals and stuff. They're called corrupted portals, which is like a world event type thing that happens and it changes the landscape of the actual world. So that's what you're seeing there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and what is this about?
This game is about just, killing people, healing people,
You don't
collecting
know what the plot is, do you?
this. No.
Okay.
Just because I've been doing story missions doesn't mean I know the story. Come on, Sack, you knew the answer before you even asked.
I genuinely thought you would have at least known from like the first cutscene or something that you might have
Oh,
watched.
I skipped the cutscene. You know that. Come on, man.
but
I don't need no
but then
story.
when you started talking about, oh, it's killing people, healing people, I'm like, he doesn't know what this game is about, does he?
No, I skipped that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think there's
So I
much
was like,
more to talk about that.
no, I mean, if you like games that are kind of like this,
I don't.
definitely. Oh, well, fair enough. Yeah. Definitely play it. It's worth a play. There's gonna be some pretty good improvements to this game coming. I believe Amazon just gave the studio I can't remember how much. It was like $500 million or some shit to like expand on this game and make it good because it was such a fucking hit. And the content in the game alone is pretty good. So I mean, just adding to it is gonna be pretty nutty. This is definitely gonna be a huge WoW contender, especially with all the risque stuff going on in Blizzard right now.
Oh,
So
no. It's very easy to be a WoW contender nowadays.
yeah.
like
Um,
like WoW in its golden age is harder to unseat. World of Warcraft just keeps going down in quality. Like nobody likes Shadowlands, no one's playing Shadowlands. There's all the controversies with like Activision Blizzard and all of the lawsuits and that. They're trying to do damage control. They're barely working on the game itself. Warcraft is in the fucking toilet and it's dying. I think it finally got surpassed by 14, which is probably just gonna stay. Like, I don't see Warcraft going over 14 ever again. I think it's just gonna keep falling.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played Warcraft in God knows how long, but I've never enjoyed Warcraft as much as like I've enjoyed the game. I only really played Warcraft to hang out with my mom and my brother and my stepdad because they all played. That was like the really only reason why I played Warcraft. But this game is like it's like it reminds me of like a better Elder Scrolls Online.
I mean, as someone who reached level 120 in Warcraft, I've never enjoyed Warcraft.
Fair enough. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this game. It's a lot of fun. Like I'll probably be playing this for a good while. I have 2 characters because I'm a psychopath. Because I have the healer, and then I'm like, I want a DPS character because healer's cool, but it's really boring after a while. I'm just there to heal everyone and gather all the stuff, make the potions, and make the jewelries and all that. I'm basically the bitch of the group. Yeah.
Yes. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, moving on, man.
Moving on to Warcraft had the Great Gnome race today.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the company I'm in, which is like guilds or whatever, is filled with a bunch of sweaty Warcraft players that left the game.
Oh, yeah. Warcraft refugees. WoW refugees is what they're called.
Yeah.
They're called refugees.
I call them the sweaty team leads. Yeah, because these guys take this game fucking dumb serious. Pretty funny.
Yeah, I would imagine. They're WoW refugees.
But we've conquered literally almost every faction in the game and area, so I mean, good for us.
Good for you.
Yeah, we did it. And I helped.
And I was there too.
I was there.
I was the water boy.
Basically that's what I am. I'm like, would you like a sip of water, sir?
Ah, yes. Murdering all of these natives makes me thirsty. It looks like a conquistador game, so I was just like, yeah, you probably murdered natives, right?
No, it's like skelly men stuff.
I'm sorry. Are you making the bold claim that skellymen can't be the natives? Don't
I
discriminate against skellymen, John.
Okay, that's fair. And I'm going to apologize to the indigenous community for that.
Mm-hmm. And to all skeletons everywhere.
And to all skeletons, I will make my YouTube apology video later, where I will have a dog and I'll be crying halfway.
Oh yeah. Make sure to like cut in on an ugly crying, like you didn't want to have to make the video when you just started, even though you super edited the opening already.
Fun fact that a few months ago that was my idea for a video, but I just didn't do it for some reason. I was gonna make an apology video where I apologize for literally nothing because I didn't do anything. It was just more like a video where I just beat around the bush and like, I'm just really sorry for what I did. I just never did it because
just a general apology video.
Yeah, just a general. I'm sorry for being the person I am.
Gotcha. Okay, moving on.
Moving on, man.
All right, I watched Rick and Morty season 5. Did you watch Rick and Morty season 5?
I too watched Rick and Morty season 5.
Excellent. That means full spoilers. Oh yeah. Buy rent or skip New World.
Oh, buy it.
Okay, I won't. But
everyone but Zach buy it.
Okay.
Enjoy my server on
Rick and Morty season 5 then. Okay, so this was actually my topic, but apparently you've seen it too. What did you think of it?
I thought it was like weird.
Weird. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was like a whole season of side stories basically, and then boom.
That's every Rick and Morty season.
Well, sometimes they have a couple canon episodes peppered in, This one was just nothing but silliness, and then
Rick and Morty tries to like change the meaning of the word canon. Yeah, it's all canon.
Fair enough.
They don't get to change the word canon. I mean, it all
then
happens.
maybe I'll rephrase it. It's more like actual story. Like
the plot. Yes.
Yeah.
Plot episodes.
Mm.
So this is my favorite season of Rick and Morty because I think this is the only season of Rick and Morty I liked. Because I mentioned before, I don't actually like Rick and Morty. I like a few episodes of Rick and Morty, but I think most of it's just fucking boring and terrible. This is the first time I liked almost every episode. I think there was like one or two of them I wasn't super keen on. Like, I think I didn't like the Planetina episode.
That one was definitely my least favorite episode of the season.
Yeah. But yeah, this is my favorite. This is my favorite season. I liked almost every episode. Especially the first and last one with Mr. Nimbus. I love Mr. Nimbus. He controls the police.
The funniest thing about that is, like, I'm watching this. I'm like, if Zach watches this, he's gonna love Mr. Nimbus.
I love Mr. Nimbus. You're right.
I knew you fucking would. Like, I had a feeling when I was watching it, and like, that's why I was like, I didn't pick it because I actually forgot I watched it until you brought it up. But then I just remember that. Yeah.
But you saw it, and he's like, "All right, he's gonna mention Mr. Nimbus, ain't he?"
I was like, that's gonna be hands down his favorite character this season.
Yeah. Hello, he controls the police.
Zach, we've been doing this podcast for a year now.
I fucking love Mr. Nimbus. No, this is the first time I think I liked an entire season of Rick and Morty, which is funny because so many Rick and Morty fans are like, this season really fell off. It just keeps getting worse. And I'm like, fuck you, Rick and Morty fans. It's finally a good show now. To be fair, I feel like a lot of Rick and Morty fans are kind of up their own ass. So
no, this is definitely hands down one of the best seasons. I prefer the first season. Over this one, I think the first season was the most solid one.
I thought the first season was so fucking boring.
Really? I liked it a lot. Brothers cut from two different claws.
Interdimensional Cable, however, probably still the best episodes of the show.
100%, yeah.
Just Interdimensional 1 and 2 are the best episodes. And I really liked the final episode too, where we finally get to find out what was up with Evil Morty. So
yeah, that was a really good episode. Just because
they actually fucking
about for like 2 seasons now.
Yeah, they actually fucking paid off that plot point, which is interesting because they've been approved for like 100 more episodes, so they actually have no motivation whatsoever to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised they bothered to pay off the plot point, knowing how much Dan Harmon hates fucking plot lines.
I also really like the
it's a Dan Harmon thing. You can tell because of Solar Opposites in the Wall that it's Dan Harmon and not Justin Roiland that hates fucking plot.
Fair. Yeah, I like the Bird Person episode too, where he's like going into his like memories or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. What was the other one I really liked? God, yeah, I watched it like a month ago. Yeah, because I watched it like right after.
Oh, actually, I take it back. The worst episode was the fucking Voltron Ferret episode.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah, that one was
that was not great. Yeah,
I actually really do like the Italian Morty, Ricks or whatever. Like the group. I don't know why I just thought that was hilarious. They're all
I don't remember the Italian Ricks.
That's the only thing I remember of. They were all like mob boss Ricks or whatever, and then you had like the one like normal Rick or whatever. It was fucking stupid, and I loved it. I think that was like the only good part of that episode, though. Well, the Planetina one was definitely not a great episode.
Yeah, I wasn't super into the Planetina episode either. A lot of people really liked that episode, but I'm like, ugh. Which just goes to show that I am not your typical Rick and Morty fan, because I'm not really a Rick and Morty fan anyway.
Fair enough.
The inverse taste of a Rick and Morty fan. Yeah. All right. I'm good to move on.
All right.
Rent it. Rent the season.
I believe it's on Adult Swim. I think that's where I watched it.
Yeah.
No, something like that. I don't remember. No, maybe Hulu. I don't know.
It might be on Hulu.
I cannot remember. I cannot for the life of me remember. It was over a month ago.
I don't know. If I want to get anything across in this podcast, it's we really need to stop telling people where to watch things because it is not important information for people to have. Find it yourself.
Google it.
Yeah.
We're tired of helping you.
We're tired of helping you. And I have to edit shit out all the time when it relates to wherever to watch shit.
Fair enough.
I'm so tired of editing shit. Okay, Marvel's What If. You talked about this on the podcast a while ago, but there was only like 2 episodes or something.
Correct, yeah. So I wanted to finish it up because the season finally ended. We got questions answered. We have more questions. It's a Marvel show and a Marvel property in general, so they always like to leave shit that's lingering.
Mm-hmm.
This show is pretty damn good. I liked it a lot. The season finale was honestly the weakest one. More so because they had a character in it that was from a missing episode that they didn't actually get to finish before release, so they're saving it for season 2. Which I think they could have cut out the 4th episode and replaced it because the 4th episode literally had nothing to do with the finale, but it was a weird choice on their part. It was probably because of the order they worked on them, but it doesn't matter. So it was only 9 episodes instead of 10 episodes. And it featured a team up at the end. Go figure, right? Of multiversal heroes. You had Captain Carter, who was Peggy Carter, if she was Captain Britain, or technically not Captain
I don't want to
but...
break up your flow, but you said there's 9 episodes, so before you talk about the United Team, hit me with the what ifs.
Oh yeah, that's I have to remember. So the first one, I was actually going to do that. The first episode is Captain Carter. What if Peggy took the serum basically instead of Steve?
Mm-hmm, that feels stupid. I'm going to also judge these what ifs just based on what you say about them.
Fair enough. The second one was what if T'Challa was Star-Lord, which was definitely one of the stronger episodes of the this season, to be honest. The third episode, I have to look up the episode list because now I can't remember. No memento. Let's see. What if episode? So names. I remember some of them. Oh,
I've been drinking water the entire time, Headshot.
Headshot, what's up, dude? Oh, holy shit. Okay, yeah.
See, I'm out of water.
All right, yeah. The first one was what if Captain Carter was the first Avenger? What if T'Challa came Star-Lord? The second one. The third one see, I got confused. The third one was the one I thought they could have made until next season or whatever. This one is what if the world lost its mightiest heroes. This is set during Fury's big week when
that actually that one could be interesting.
See, this one I thought was the least interesting, actually.
No, I mean it just based on the what if blank blank. That's the most interesting premise so far.
Yeah. It was a very good episode. I just thought it could have.
You thought it didn't have anything to do with the plot. I gotcha.
It literally, I don't want to spoil anything because it's still relatively new, but it shows up in the last episode, but for 2 seconds, and it's only for a happy ending type thing.
Maybe it's setting up for season 2.
It probably, yeah. But yeah, the next one, which was my favorite episode of the season, was what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands?
What?
Instead of so instead in the car, so
he would be dead.
Well, let me break this down. So this is a scenario where him and Christine Palmer are actually dating in this universe.
I don't know or care who that is.
That's the doctor chick.
The other doctor? Okay.
Yeah. So the main premise of this one is that she's in the car with him when they get into the accident, but she dies. So then it goes off it goes through the entire Doctor Strange movie and story and stuff. Well, obviously they skip past it because we've seen it 100 times. And then it gets to a point after where he's I really want to try to get her back. I have this time stone. Can I reverse time? So the ancient one, or no, it wasn't ancient one. I think it was Wong actually that explains to him, hey, you can't reverse an absolute point. Like this needs to happen in the universe in order for the universe to be fine. So
Remind
he
me of
kind of
this when
comes.
we get to the end of this, by the way. Of
Remind
the
you what?
whole what if thing, yeah. About the you can't reverse an absolute point in time.
Yes.
Okay.
Um.
Thank you.
So yeah. So what he does basically is he says fuck it. He starts reading one of the magic books. I can't remember what it was. I think it was one of the books of Cagliostro or something like that. Um, and learns how to absorb dark creatures and shit for their power, basically to become stronger than he needs to be in order to reverse an absolute point.
He's done
And
that
he
in the
does this.
comics before. That's
Yeah.
established.
So he did that. Um, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but he does
Shit gets fucked.
shit gets fucked, and
Yeah.
he gets fucked. That's all I'm gonna say. It is hands down the best episode of the season.
Mm-hmm.
From start to finish. Benedict Cumberbatch also comes back and redoes the voice of Doctor Strange. They
Okay.
almost got the entire Doctor Strange cast, actually. The voice acting of this is top tier because they almost get basically everyone back except for like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Brie Larson didn't come back and do Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's in this way more than I thought she would be, for some reason.
Well, they were
Um,
trying to sell her as the next big thing in Marvel.
yeah. Scarlett Johansson didn't come back. Who was the other weird
Really?
one?
She didn't, huh?
Fair enough. Um, and who else didn't? I can't remember. It's not bad. But basically everyone but that. So yeah, I'll skip it. Yeah, the next episode was What If Zombies? Basically, it's
Oh, fuck Marvel
zombies.
Zombies. Fuck them.
But
I
this
hate
is a
them.
little bit different though, because it's set
Fuck the
right when
Cancerverse.
Infinity War happens. Yeah, this is set when Infinity War happens. So Bruce Banner comes back and instead of finding Doctor Strange, Wong, and all that, he comes back to a desolate world and it's full of zombies because in this reality, and when Hank Pym goes into the quantum realm to get his wife Janet, she is actually infected with the zombie virus, and it takes it back. Blah blah blah. Zombies everywhere.
Watch
Everyone
them
becomes zombies.
zombies.
Yeah. Everyone becomes zombies except for Happy Hogan, Spider-Man, Wasp, uh,
Who the
obviously Bruce
shit is
Banner.
Happy Hogan?
Oh, John Favreau's character that like hangs out with
Who the fuck
Iron
is
Man and
John
shit.
Favreau?
Jesus Christ. The guy that hangs out with Tony Stark and Peter Parker in the movies. You know the guy. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
yes, that guy. He's alive. Who the fuck else was alive? Okoye was alive, and then somebody else was alive. I can't remember. Most of them get fucking fucked, anyways. This one was the first. I had to watch it twice because the first time I wasn't really sold on it, but the second time I watched it, it was actually a lot better.
That's
Um,
called Stockholm Syndrome, John.
Fair enough. Because when I it actually ends with. I'm not gonna actually. Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It was enjoyable. The only real one I didn't enjoy is the next one,
Mm-hmm.
which is what if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? So this is actually set during the events of the first Iron Man, where Eric Killmonger, the cousin of Black Panther, rescues Tony Stark in Afghanistan instead of him getting blown up. So Tony doesn't become Iron Man. He actually
Be
helps.
interesting. I mean,
It's
the
in
what if
it's
Killmonger did it is where it gets stupid, but what if Tony is rescued was an interesting idea.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like he would have just been rescued and not like I think the Killmonger subplot was just it was I don't know because
Yeah.
what they do is they end up making drones and then he's like I'm gonna invade Wakanda, so I'm like this is literally just Black Panther with the extra steps. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it was I don't know it was definitely my least favorite one. But
Because if
the
Tony doesn't get
fun
saved, then everyone's fucked.
yeah that was yeah
So
basically yeah.
that's why it's like that could be an interesting idea. I don't know if I would have had Killmonger do it. That seems a little tacked on, but
Yeah, well, I it was mostly because everyone loved Killmonger, like in the movie. Like I thought he was a great character, but I was like, he's dead. Like I don't need to see him again. Like whatever. Um,
All right,
So
hot
like,
take. I didn't like Black
yeah,
Panther
I see. I'm not a
or
huge
any
fan
of
of it
the
either.
characters in Black Panther except for the gorilla guy. I liked the gorilla guy.
Umbaku.
Yeah, sure. You said that with
Yeah,
such confidence that I believe you, and I loved
love.
M'Baku, but only
Yeah.
M'Baku. I thought everyone else was super fucking boring. I didn't get the hype around the movie. I honestly, I think it was just because it had a primarily black cast.
No, 100%.
I
Yeah.
think people got like into the sort of like racial pride of it, which is like fine and
Mhm.
all, but I don't think it was a very good movie.
I agree with that sentiment just because like it's really not.
Yeah.
It's like it's an all right movie. I think I gave it like when I watched it like a 7.
Here,
It's because like it's a solid movie, but like
what I will
it's not
say
meant to
is
be.
that if it was an all white cast, no one would like it.
No, 100 because that'd be super weird.
Yeah. If we divorce the fact that if it was an all-white cast, people would be claiming cultural appropriation and all that. Like, if it was just the same like idea but all white, no, it would not have gotten the attention. Like, it's a
I
solidly put together movie, I guess, but it doesn't. It's not a good movie.
Yeah, it's very so-so. Like I've only seen it maybe twice.
They're replacing Black Panther's actor with the his like sister. I've heard.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm gonna go with it, and it makes the most sense.
I thought that was
Um,
I thought that was stated. I thought that was announced.
well, it hasn't been. I mean, it hasn't been announced, but I mean,
Oh, okay.
come on. I
It's
mean,
the one I don't like her character, but it's the
yeah,
one where like if I were to choose, that would be the person, or
yeah.
like
See,
the head of his guard, like the bald woman.
Okoye, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I would have chosen one or the other. I think
So honestly, I would have
honestly I
chosen
would have chosen
M'Baku.
I would have chosen her. I think
Yeah,
now that I've said that out loud, I think I'd have chosen her and then still had the sister as like tech support.
yeah. That makes the most sense because she's more of a trained warrior type thing.
Yeah,
Personally, I would have liked
like T'Challa was.
yeah, like I would have preferred M'Baku, obviously, because he's like he
Oh,
actually wanted to be Black Panther in that movie.
everyone would
Like,
have preferred M'Baku.
yeah.
That's
Like
Gorilla
and
Man,
Winston
right?
Duke is a fantastic actor too.
I didn't
So
even consider him until you said that out loud. And I'm like, yes,
yeah.
fuck,
He's honestly
yes.
like, if they do a switch up and it's him, like I'm gonna be super pumped because I love Winston Duke in that
I would
role.
actually
I think
watch
he's
the
fun.
Black Panther too if it's Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther 2 also will have Ironheart in it, so there you go.
Uh, I
Yep.
don't understand what they're thinking. No one likes that character.
No, they're gonna shove it down our throats though.
No one likes her comics don't even sell well. Why would they like Camilla Khan? I get. No one likes Riri Williams.
Well, you're about to.
Why? I don't understand. In the fucking like 60, 70 years Marvel has to work with its fucking comic books, why it's choosing to adapt the new shit no one gives a crap about. The shit that's actively tanking their sales. Why are they
One
adapting
word.
this crap when they
One
have
word.
so
Zach.
much comic to do?
It's only for one reason. And it's diversity.
I know. God
Well, 'cause they
damn.
got slammed so hard for it during like the first 3 phases that they're like, okay, we gotta like
We got to diversify it up. And then, now that they're
gotta
adapting the
diversify
new
your bond.
shit that was hyper diverse that no one fucking bought, the movies are going to tank.
Well, see, they're doing the smart thing by putting her in a movie and then giving her a Disney Plus show. Because I mean, people watch Disney Plus because they don't have to go anywhere. So
Yeah.
I think that was a smart move on their part. But I mean, I don't know Riri Williams at all, so I'm interested to seeing how they portray her. I'm not gonna go back and read comics because I don't have the fucking time to do that or the mental capacity.
She is a
Um,
narcissistic sociopath.
Perfect. Perfect for someone who can take on the Iron Person moniker. So,
She's worse.
oh, fair
She's
enough.
she's like superior Iron Man.
Oh, okay. Ooh, ew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she thinks
Yikes.
she's a good guy.
Oh, yeah. You're saying all these things I don't like, Zach.
Yeah. So you get why she didn't sell well then.
Understandable. They'll probably change it up just for because
I
But
would
I
actually
mean,
agree, mate. I don't think most MCU movies are very good. I think that a lot of the MCU movies that I ended up watching, like if I've watched all of them, but when I really think about it, there were only a few I really liked, and it just kind of hooked me because all of the movies were connected. But now that I've seen Endgame, I don't really feel the desire because Endgame feels so definitive. I don't really care about Phase 4 that much, so I'm only going to watch the things I care about. But I think if I took all of the MCU movies in like the first 3 phases, I probably only liked a handful of them in the first place. So I would
yeah,
agree that I don't think most MCU movies are all that good.
I agree with that. I especially like watching them. Um, as many times that I've had, like, there's only like a couple stand-ups. Like, Winter Soldier is like just a good fucking movie in general. I love Winter Soldier. It's probably my favorite MCU movie just because it's like if you took it out of the MCU, it would still be a good fucking movie regardless. Um, and yeah, but it's been my thing, Like
I
obviously I do like the older ones too. I do like Spider-Man, at least Spider-Man 1 and 2 and X-Men 1 and 2. The third movies for both of those franchises are fucking awful.
I
And
was
I don't have no
separating
part of
the X-Men movies because I like most of
yeah.
the X-Men movies, and of course the Raimi trilogy is great.
The Raimi double feature is great. The third one not so much.
The third one's okay.
It's
I
yeah,
still don't
I've
like
watched
Winter
it recently.
Soldier or Civil War.
Oh,
If I were to make my MCU list of movies I actually liked, it would be like the original Iron Man, which is probably my
yeah.
number 2 movie in the MCU, like overall. The original Iron Man was so fucking good.
It's
Um,
still good. I watched it recently.
Endgame, the original Avengers, um, Infinity War? Is that one of them? I almost called it Infinity Gauntlet. Is
Yeah.
it Infinity
Yeah,
War? Yeah.
Infinity War,
Yeah,
yeah.
Infinity War, Endgame, the original Avengers movie, Iron Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp I actually liked. I know a lot of people didn't.
What?
I actually
What?
enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought it was
See,
fun.
I did
I
too.
thought the first one was so fucking boring, but I thought the second
I
one was
love the
actually fun. They still have absolutely zero fucking idea how Pym particles work, but that's okay. I prefer if like don't explain your science if you're not gonna stay consistent with your science. Uh, please. And Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, are
those are all pretty
probably the only
good.
like MCU movies I actually liked.
I prefer
Oh,
the
it
first
was
Ant-Man
Ragnarok
movie.
phase was in the first 3 phases. Ragnarok was a
Yeah,
good movie. Ragnarok's a good
yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
I liked Ragnarok.
there's a lot of good movies, but like when it comes to Marvel stuff, sometimes they absolutely slip on the ball.
Well, I
But I
think
mean,
those are
like,
probably the only ones I liked. Like, I think if you were to name another one, I didn't like it.
fair enough. Nobody likes Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Doctor Strange was
anyways,
okay.
I really like Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is an okay movie.
I'm pretty sure I put that in A tier when we did the tier list a week ago or a couple weeks ago.
Did we do a tier list in?
No, the thing that we've been doing at the end of my streams, we've been capping it off with a tier list. It just started
Oh.
randomly as a joke. Somebody's like, "You should do a Pop Tarts tier list," and then it just became a thing. Like after
Oh,
every show,
okay.
so we've done Pop Tarts, Marvel movies, and Star Wars movies so far.
Okay, gotcha.
Um, but yeah, back to the
Goodness me.
list of episodes.
Yes, I cut you
Um,
off. I'm sorry.
we always
I
do this. It's
I
fine.
think the tangent was entertaining.
No, absolutely, yeah. The next episode was what if Thor were an only child? So this is a universe where instead of
Okay.
Odin taking Loki, he actually gives him back to the Frost Giants. This is more of a fun episode. It's literally just him partying on Earth and shit the entire episode. It's entertaining. There's a lot of fun cameos in it. Darcy gets married to Howard the Duck for some reason, and it's fucking funny. Other than that, I mean, there's really not much to it except for it sets
Grow some
the only
balls, Disney. Make a Howard the Duck movie.
uh, they were talking about doing I believe an animated series for How the Duck, yeah. Everyone's
Nah,
favorite
make a
episode.
movie. Grow some balls.
Um
Use
yeah,
it
the
to
only
bring
thing
in
that's
Gwenpool, and then just make the movies unwatchable because I don't know how Gwenpool would translate to a movie.
fair enough. Yeah, the only thing this really does is set up the final 2 episodes, which it features Ultron, which is really nice. because Ultron and Age of Ultron kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention Avengers 2 as one of the ones I liked.
Nobody does. I believe I put that in a D tier because that movie is just not good. The more I watch it. But yeah, the next episode, the second to last one, is What If Ultron won? So this is a reality where he actually gets put into the Vision body instead of the Avengers stopping him, and he basically becomes unstoppable.
I think that
And
happens
also
in the comics at one point, doesn't it?
something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he also kills Thanos and gets all the Infinity Stones too. So he's an omnipotent being, and he ends up fighting the Watcher, and it's one of the best fight scenes. Actually, yeah, that was a good thing about Thor. Thor fights Captain Marvel in one of the scenes in that one, and it's a fucking great fight scene. But the Watcher versus Ultron fight is fucking top tier. It looks awesome.
Who wins?
Technically Ultron does.
Between Thor and Marvel.
Thor.
Thor? Interesting, because they always say that Captain Marvel is the strongest in the MCU.
So, the only reason why he won is because he knocks her down, then puts his hammer on top of her, and then proceeds to call her a party pooper.
He wins because he's smart. I love it.
It was really good. Yeah,
that's fucking great.
Yeah, they kind of like knock each other around, and then he knocks her right to the ground, just puts the hammer on her, and then everyone around, like there's a party going on, everyone around her just keeps calling her a party pooper. It's really funny.
As humorous as that is, I will say with the powers Captain Marvel has displayed in the movies, I'm not sure that would work. And I think there's a really good reason for it. And they actually show it in the original Avengers movie. I don't know if you remember this scene where Banner hulks out on the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And Thor just places the fucking hammer on his hand. And Hulk can't lift it because he's not worthy, obviously. But he starts ripping the fucking plane apart underneath him. because the hammer is forcing him down, but the plane doesn't have the structural integrity to take Hulk trying to stand up. And I think honestly, I would have to say with the power she's displayed in the movies, I think something similar would probably happen to Captain Marvel, where they put her on the planet, and sure, she can't go up, but she can certainly go down.
Yeah. So the reason why she's like, I could have went full power, but if I do, it'll destroy a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
That's the reason they gave
I'd make
that.
a crater.
Yeah. That's literally what she says. Like, I will literally make a crater, yeah. And I was like, okay, like that makes sense.
Yeah. It would involve going down, and you don't want me doing that.
It's like probably my second least favorite. I don't know. It's hard to say. It was more of a comedic episode, because like these episodes are pretty fucking sad, honestly. Like leading up to that, like the Doctor Strange one, hands down, being like the saddest one. And like the zombies one is pretty sad, and they all have some pretty emotional hits to them. But yeah, the Ultron one was great because the only people that survived were Clint and Natasha. So it's basically them just trying to figure out how to fucking stop Ultron. And I'm not going to spoil how they kind of figure it out, but they don't figure out really. They don't execute until the next one, which is what if the Watcher broke his oath to not interfere? Because it's basically the Watcher.
A thing he does all the time in comics. That's not a very good what if.
Fair enough.
What if Thor was worthy?
Well, to general audiences, they're like, "Oh yeah, what if he did do that?" Because like the whole time in like the show, like he's like, "I can't interfere, I can't do this." Like even if a universe gets destroyed, it is what it is, type thing. So that I was like, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, this is like the team up one. So basically, what he does, he goes to all these different universes that you see from every episode, and every universe in that's seen within these episodes is seen in this final episode, even if some of them are briefly, some of them aren't explained, like the Gamora and Tony Stark one. A fun fact: Tony Stark dies in every episode.
Oh,
every fucking.
Oh, so that okay, that's actually interesting because that means it's one of those fixed points they mentioned with Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So like every fucking episode, Tony Stark dies, and people were apparently complaining about it on Twitter, and they're like, "Hey, the episode we didn't get to finish was like a one where Tony didn't die, so we just—it's not that we hated him. For story wise, he has to die. Um, like he was one of the zombies.
Also, spoilers.
What?
Well, you mentioned there's just an episode about him getting saved by Killmonger, and then you're like, he dies in every episode.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure you can put two and two together. Anyways,
not until you said that. Not until you said he dies. I mean, I don't care, but
yeah, I didn't think about that.
I also probably could have let that go without pointing it out, but I chose not to. So I'm just as guilty.
But yeah, so yeah, they get everyone. Yeah, I actually really want to see that Gamora and Tony, because it's basically Thor Ragnarok, but Tony getting sent to Sakaar instead of Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually really want to see that episode. It sounds very interesting to me, and also Gamora apparently kills Thanos. And I'd
Good
really
for
like to see
her.
that too. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically all of them. It's Doctor Strange, Captain Carter, T'Challa, who's Star-Lord, Party Thor, which they call him for whatever reason, Gamora, and Killmonger, who are the Guardians of the Multiverse, who are tasked with stopping Ultron, which they do an all right job. And then Natasha comes in with her MacGuffin in order to stop Ultron. That's all I'm going to really say about it.
Cosmic Cube.
No.
Oh.
You honestly, if I gave you like 10 minutes, you probably wouldn't guess it.
Oh, really?
It was actually like pretty smart on the writers. I will applaud the writers, because like this show is written very well, and by someone who actually like genuinely loves like obviously the MCU source.
Is it something like really simple, or did I go too strong with it?
It's honestly, I wouldn't even thought about it. It's like, that's why I didn't mention like what it was, because it's a pretty good like little a callback and like other stuff. I don't want to talk. I don't really talk about it too much.
Okay.
I would honestly, like, even if you're not a huge MCU fan, just watch it, because it's cool to see these alternate realities, especially with all the crazy shit we're about to get in with the new Spider-Man and the new Doctor Strange movie. It's interesting to see where they're gonna go forward with this, and like, this show is kind of like, hey, this is the rules for the multiverse, so get used to it, because it's about to be a thing, type thing. Mm-hmm. But I thoroughly enjoyed this series. Like, it was one of the things I woke up every Wednesday morning to watch, because it debuted every Wednesday. And like I said, it was only like one episode I wasn't really too crazy for. Also, you could tell there was like some time restraints on it, because some of the episodes just kind of end very abruptly. The head writer AC Bradley actually mentioned that some of the episodes were supposed to be like 45 minutes long, but a lot of them are actually like 30 to 35. I think the longest one is the last one, which I believe is like 37 minutes. But they had to cut a lot of stuff out because of time restraints with everything going on and stuff like that. Which was one of the reasons why one of the episodes got cut, but is what it is. Very good series. I recommend going to watch it. It's on Disney Plus if you already have it. It's free to watch. Only 9 episodes. Animation is pretty good. I like it. They do some retconning, like in the Avengers episode, like the winter Fury's getting all the Avengers together. Obviously they retcon Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo into that movie instead of Edward Norton. I thought that was really cool. It's just good. It's good to go back to these certain areas and points of time, and have these stories too. Like, obviously the Captain Carter one's like an easy one. Like, hey, like, what if she did it instead of him? The T'Challa one was
have her own show already.
Who?
Peggy Carter.
That show came
her
out.
Own show.
Yeah, that came out a while ago.
Yeah.
I never watched it. I was like, yeah, I don't.
Nobody did. That's why it got canceled after like 1 season.
I think it did too. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. Yeah. So the third episode
up time,
where the what if Earth lost its mighty heroes. That was a solid episode. I think that one could have been the one that stayed until the next season because it literally had nothing to do with the Guardians at the end.
Yeah.
The Doctor Strange one, fucking hands down, one of the best things I've seen in a very long time from Marvel. Because even though it's just one episode that I believe was only like 36 minutes long, it fucking slapped. It was good. The visuals in it were great. Benedict Cumberbatch's performance in it is fucking top tier. You can tell a lot of people like really put a lot of love into the show. I'm gonna give the entire season like an 8 out of 10. It was very good. It's rewatchable. Like when I have some spare time, I'll probably rewatch it again. There's only one episode that has Spider-Man in it, unfortunately, but
You gave
Tom
it an 8
Holland,
out of 10? There's only one Spider-Man episode?
yeah, well, because of the whole Sony Marvel thing, they're like Sony's like you can
I'm
have
just
Spider-Man
joking.
in one episode, which I was kind of
That's
pissed about
actually
that. 'Cause, like,
generous of them.
yeah, because you can see Spider-Man like here on the poster, so I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be part of the team up, and yeah, he was not, and I was very pissed about that. Uh,
Yeah, he's wearing fucking the coat of Doctor Strange.
he is, yeah, no spoilers. Um, Yeah, that's Tom Holland did not come back to reprise the role because again, Sony contracts, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Also the spider symbol on the suits, the actually the one that they use in Disneyland for their theme park because Sony technically owns the rights to the costume.
That's
The
fucking
costumes,
funny.
yeah, it's weird, but the voice actors that returned were great. The voice actors that they got were out some top tier voice actors. So they all did a very good job. The only one that kind of took me out was the girl who did Natasha. I believe it was Lake Bell who did her. Like it was just. I think it's more so because I just watched Black Widow a few months ago, and fucking her voice is still like kind of like fresh in my head. But the guy that they got to replace like Steve Rogers and Iron Man were all very good. And Ross McQuaid actually comes back to do Ultron because they were originally going to get James Spader to do it, but they decided that if Ultron went into Vision's body, he wouldn't obviously have Paul Bettany's voice or Ultron's voice. So they gave it to Ross McQuaid, who did like Red Skull and Infinity War and Endgame instead. And I thought that was a solid idea because he's a fantastic voice actor too, and he kind of sounds like James Spader, but he makes it sound a little bit different, not to confuse people. But yeah, it was really good. Very
Yeah.
generous. Disney should have gotten anything as fuck Disney. Fair enough.
One thing I will say about Ultron is I don't remember what Ultron's plan was. So what if Ultron won? What if Ultron won? Because what the fuck was he trying to do? I remember he tried to drop a city on another city, but that's about it.
So the city was so the original idea was for him to get into the mainframe and get the nuclear codes and basically kill every human. That was his like
Why?
because he said the only person that can save this earth is me, and in order to do that, I need to kill all the humans. So Ultron does that in this reality instead of
And his
dropping the
idea
city.
was nukes, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought he was supposed to be a smart robot.
I mean, he gets his ass whooped every time. So, is he really that smart?
Tony, make
Is
a
he
better
though?
robot.
Fair enough. Well, but yeah, it was an interest because obviously Ultron needed some redeeming because Age of Ultron A is a shitty movie.
Yeah.
They really did Ultron dirty. Like fuck Joss Whedon for ruining one of my favorite robots in comics. So, it was really nice to see like an Ultron that was
Top
fucking
5
OP.
robots in comics.
Yeah, like there's some stuff that I really want to talk about, but I can't because they're technically spoilers.
Sure.
But do yourself a favor and just go watch it. It was fun. Everything like I had no issues really with it except for the fact that they really should have kept that third episode for the second season. That's
Mhm.
my only real big complaint.
And then the
Um,
Gamora one, yeah.
yeah, and if they added that one in, like I honestly think that it would have flowed a lot better. Now, number one, because like that one, it didn't feel out of place, but it felt like it didn't belong in the big picture type
hmm
thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
but it was still a good episode. The twist was really good in that
hmm
one, but it just felt very out of place.
Okay, so skip, rent, or buy.
This is gonna be a buy.
This is a buy. Buy it.
Buy
Uh,
it. Disney Plus, $6.
there you go. All right, moving on to not a topic on the list, which is I wanted a reminder of something. Do you remember what I wanted a reminder of?
The absolute points.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I also remembered. I just wanted to see if you remembered. Yeah. So about like absolute fixed points. This is a thing you see a lot in a lot of fiction with like abilities that have the potential to derail plot points, like resurrection and like time travel. And
Hmm.
it's always like a major point where people are like, you can't bring someone, it's always specifically, you can't bring someone back from the dead, or you can't undo such a pivotal event in history. Whereas like the writers create a universe in which these mechanics could theoretically be used to completely change the landscape of the story, but they always create these arbitrary limits of like fixed events or points, or like you can't bring someone back from the dead because you can't bring back a soul or some bullshit
Hmm.
to basically prevent their story from getting derailed, when it would be so much more fun to not come up with these arbitrary limitations and just allow your story to break and develop in a more like almost natural way, you know, like less guided, more wild. And
Well, that's what happens in that
my
episode.
argument for why that would be so much more interesting is because everyone would be like, oh, it's really cheap if you keep bringing like characters back. And sure, you do lose the risk of like losing some of the impact from death scenes or stuff, but you could also because everyone always thinks like, oh, it would aid the heroes too much. You could do this with the villains also. Like, usually villains have a relatively similar like set of abilities to the main characters. They could also fucking break time and resurrect people just to fuck with you. And it could create such a more interesting dynamic to not artificially limit yourself by like trying not to break the plot. Like, I understand and I can't fault anyone for putting these arbitrary limits on their stories, but also it can sometimes just be really fun to just be like, you know, theoretically the main character could just bring back his dead girlfriend. What happens if he does? I don't know. And then you do it.
Well, not to spoil anything, but that's exactly what happens at the end.
Good.
And the
It
consequences are dire.
Yeah, no, I mean it's something that you do in like a D&D, because D&D
Yeah.
doesn't have these dumb arbitrary limits that like writers impose on their characters. And so you end up in these like weird scenarios where it's like, oh, the fucking the rogue is dead. Yep, time to bring him back to life. And then you have to deal with the fucking implications of like, hey, we live in a world where if someone dies, we can just resurrect them. And
Yeah, so
sometimes it's just interesting to explore your setting with its mechanics without the limitations.
yeah, it's not so it's not so much like he couldn't do it. It was more so if he did do it, it would basically erase. Never mind.
It's fine.
I get it. Yeah,
But I'm not saying all series should remove their arbitrary limits. I'm just saying there is
yeah,
value to it, and I feel like a lot of writers limit themselves by immediately trying to prevent their plot from breaking rather than being willing to explore their mechanics. Like
yeah.
in Full Metal Alchemist, for example, the central plot point is that you're not supposed to bring back someone from the dead. That kickstarts the entire plot of the show. So that is an example of the arbitrary limits being applied to the series with intention. Because literally, if that limitation was not in place, you would not have Full Metal Alchemist. So I'm not saying like get rid of all of them. I'm just saying acknowledge that sometimes there is value in not having them. Does that make sense?
No, I
Like, I
agree
don't want
because
to
that.
invalidate something like Full Metal Alchemist by saying there should never be these limits, because I don't want to say that. I don't think that's true. I'm just saying consider
Yeah,
not having them. Like, consider
that
if you really need them.
that's what this episode does very well because it gives you the limits and then basically Doctor Strange is like, fuck those limits.
We gotta
And
go
like that's
beyond
what,
those limits.
literally though, like, and this is a step beyond. Like he becomes Goku, and it got really weird. Some would say it got really
That was
strange.
one major plot point of FMA. There are a lot of other stuff happening. There is, but it is also what starts the whole like story. Like without the brothers trying to do human transmutation, they would not have been involved in the plot. Theoretically, without the brothers, the entire story of Full Metal Alchemist would have probably happened anyway. Um, but the ending would have been different because the villain would have won. um, But yeah, anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I'm just like, if you are writing something with power systems that enable this bullshit, consider just not having it. You know
Yeah.
who's really good at that? Araki, the creator of JoJo, because he doesn't place these dumb fuck limits on his powers, and it turns into some fucking moments. Like, fucking spoilers for part 7 real quick. Plug your ears if you don't want part 7 spoilers. At the end of the fucking thing, when fucking Dio shows up, I lost my shit. Oh, boy.
I literally listened to you, then you said spoilers, and then my hearing just somehow cut off, and I didn't hear what you said, so it's
nice. Would you watch an anime about Roy Mustang overthrowing his corrupt government and then dying because he didn't have the brother's help? Yeah. That sounds interesting, too. I'd watch an anime about Roy Mustang, full stop. Like, Roy Mustang's a great character. Alright, next up. Are we ready?
Yeah, let's go. Next one is King Kong versus Godzilla Part 2.
Yes. Godzilla versus Kong 2. Okay, so
You got the one with the fucking catacourts.
I had to specifically look for it because the image you originally had was I never had access to it actually because you hosted that episode. So I had to specifically find this image.
What a callback.
Yes, come on. You know me. You know I wasn't going to let it go.
What a fucking callback, dude. Hey, applaud to Zach for that.
Thank you. The person who insists we do every series in the specific order for consistency. You knew I had to get the same picture twice.
Hey, so continuity is key.
Yes. With my continuity obsession. I watched Godzilla vs. Kong, and considering this is the second time we talked about it on the podcast, I'm totally willing to say full spoilers for this now.
Yeah, it's been out for a while. I say that's perfectly fine.
I'm willing to say full spoilers because we didn't do spoilers for your run, but this is the second time, so you have had every opportunity to watch it now.
At least 6 months.
Yes.
Right? Yes, 6 months because it came out in March.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I watched Godzilla vs. Kong. So here's the thing. I kind of liked the movie. I didn't like it as much as Skull Island.
It's not bad. It's not a bad movie.
But I liked it better than all of the other Godzilla movies. I think Godzilla is super fucking boring. I don't know what it was about it. But when Godzilla was actually, when Kong was actually fighting Godzilla at the end of the movie, I don't know if it was like, I just think the Godzilla movies are boring, or whether it was my American patriotism kicking in. I was fucking cheering out loud for Kong. I was like, kick his ass, Kong! Fuck that lizard up!
Where at least I can be free.
I don't know if Kong is still growing. If so, Kong will probably outclass Godzilla in power by the end of this monster franchise. Because they mentioned Kong was really young. Like baby young in the Skull Island movie, but he's like significantly taller in this movie. So I don't know if he's still growing. He might get even taller. So he might be stronger than Godzilla, but undoubtedly he is weaker than Godzilla in this movie.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
The size of these monsters cannot be less consistent. Because, Rodan was, the size of a fucking mountain in the Godzilla movie, but now they're all just building size. They don't keep a consistent size for these fucking monsters. They keep going up and down in height at just seemingly random intervals.
Yeah, I know.
So the main organization, the main organization of this is I want to call them Apex Cybernetics or something cybernetics, right? Oh, we got to see into the center of the world. That was kind of interesting, I guess. It was kind of a fun, dumb action movie. I kind of cared less about going to the center of the world and finding some dumb power source. I actually was interested in the human characters and their like dive into the cybernetics conspiracy theory this time. So that was fun. But yeah, I want to say like Apex Cybernetics and their like construction of Mechagodzilla. So here's the thing. I don't know if it's just me or something, but like the movie's like, you're making a Mecha Godzilla to try and unseat Godzilla, and everyone's like, oh no, your guys are monsters, you're the bad guys of this film. I fucking agree with them, and I don't understand what's so wrong about making a Mecha Godzilla. Like, no, for real, though. Like, why are we relying on Godzilla to help protect humanity? Godzilla don't give a shit about humanity. He keeps fucking attacking us. Like, he'll fucking be like, oh, you're trying to unseat my power by creating a Mechagodzilla. I'm gonna fuck up your city. Why are we trusting this giant fucking lizard? You're goddamn right Apex Cybernetics are trying to replace Godzilla by making their own kaiju. Why do we have to rely on some dumb shit kaiju to save us maybe if it fucking feels like it at the moment, when we could have our own kaiju that we would be in control of that can save us when we need saving? So color me a bad guy, but I'm with the bad guys in this movie. They were right. Mechagodzilla was a good fucking idea. Now, I will say that at the end of the movie, theoretically, Mechagodzilla got like brain controlled by Ghidorah's psychic connection. I think that's what happened. Maybe it's not clear. I assume what happened is the energy source that they took from the center of the earth powered up the psychic connection in Ghidorah, and so his mind control overrid Mechagodzilla's body. That's what I assume happened. Yeah. They don't fucking explain it at all. I assume that's what happened. In their defense, I don't think anyone could have predicted a fucking skull mind-controlling a robot. I think the idea was good, and the outcome was unforeseeable. I don't think any possible person could have predicted the machine being mind-controlled by a skeleton.
You didn't see that coming?
No. And I don't think any rational person would have. Like, if you were making a robot, would you expect a skeleton to be able to mind control it?
Yes.
Why?
That's just how I roll, baby.
That's just a thing I expect.
That's exactly what I expect.
I never build a robot without expecting a skeleton to mind control it.
Exactly, dude. Like,
man. Well, okay, I guess I'm underestimating the skeleton community, and now I too need to make an apology to all skeletons everywhere. I liked the movie. Actually, I thought the team up at the end where Godzilla and Kong are fighting Mechagodzilla, I thought that was fucking sick, actually.
No, it was the final 20 minutes are the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, I liked the movie overall.
The aircraft fight.
I didn't give. Okay, so what I will say is that they have like a mute child in this movie.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the point of it?
So they didn't have to pay her more to remember lines.
No. What was the point of the character?
Because she knows Kong.
Cool. So did her mom. If you took out the child and made the mom the friend of Kong, nothing would be different. The whole movie, I couldn't be like, why the fuck is there this kid character? I don't have a problem with the fact that she couldn't speak. It was more like, why the fuck is this kid in this movie? What is the point of this fucking child?
I hate them kids.
No, like, real. What the fuck was the point of the kid, though? I don't get. I hated anything that had to do with taking Kong to the center of the earth and all of the people involved in that. I was like, none of this is fucking interesting. But then you switch to the other group and they're like, conspiracy theory, let's go to the cybernetics lab. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go to the cybernetics lab. I'm into this shit. And then you hear their plan and we're like, we're gonna make our own kaiju. And I'm like, yes. That's how you know you've made it. That's how you know you've made a good villain, when the audience is like, yes, I'm with him. I'm on the villain's side. Why are we opposing the villains? I don't know if it was like a fuck up on the movie's part, because I really feel like you were supposed to be against the villains. Like, no, don't unseat Godzilla as the supreme being on the planet. But like, I don't know if it's me being so pro-human or not, but I was like, yeah, make the kaiju. Yes, do it.
Fucking do it.
Yeah. So I don't know if they just fucked up or maybe it's just a me thing, but I immediately sided them. What about you, John? Were you on Cybernetic's side or were you what I assume was the intention on Godzilla's side?
I was on nobody's side because I just wanted to watch this movie and just get it done with. Because I wanted to watch it for the podcast. So I was more so because I was like I liked Skull Island, but again, Godzilla 1 and 2 were not great.
Mhm.
So I was more so like I don't really care who wins this movie. I just want to watch it and hopefully it's like watchable. And it's watchable. It's not a bad movie by any means.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed it.
It's just dumb fun. I don't think it's as good as Skull Island, but I think it's just dumb fun.
Now Skull Island is like the best monster kaiju movie.
The best thing about Skull Island is I watched it without knowing there were Godzilla movies attached. You can just watch Skull Island.
Oh yeah. That's a good part about it. It's a very standard. Has a pretty damn good cast too. So I mean,
yeah,
you can't really beat it, man.
Yeah. I mean that lady should be fucking dead, but you can just watch Skull Island.
Lady, yeah, you ain't wrong, man. Just like OJ, man. If the glove don't fit.
Yeah, I'm good. I did a full spoilers and and Kong Godzilla versus Kong. I thought it was a decent movie. I'd say rent it.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't have said. I'd have said skip to both Godzilla movies. In fact, I would say watch Skull Island, then watch this.
It is on.
Who gives a fuck of it? Don't even watch the Godzilla movies. Trust me, you don't need them. You'll figure it out.
Really
You're a
don't.
smart cookie.
You know Godzilla. He's big. He brought.
He's Godzilla. Yeah.
You know him. You know him. You love him. You want to be him.
Yeah, I don't really want to be Godzilla.
Oh well. Some of us don't. I should say.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. All right. I'm good to move on.
Sounds good. That's good. The next topic, which is Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage.
Yes. I didn't know this was out.
Yeah, this
and
came out Friday.
Considering how bad the Venom movie was, I don't know if I care.
Fair enough. Well, guess what? This movie is better than Venom 1 by a long shot.
That didn't seem hard. Did they lean into, because the Venom movie was so half-hearted between trying to make a serious movie and trying to make a comedy, did they just lean in fully to one direction, or?
It was a better... So Andy Serkis directed this film. You might know him as Gollum. Or
yes.
Caesar.
Or Caesar. What was he Caesar in?
Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
Yeah, he was the monkey.
Okay.
Or, sorry, the ape. He's not a monkey, he's an ape.
I certainly don't know him in that. I haven't seen any of the new Planet of the Apes movies. I've only seen the original, which is a good movie that holds up, by the way. For like a movie that I think came out in like the 70s or something.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Mark Wahlberg one. I was about to be like, Sag, we can...
No. When I say original, I mean like the actual original Planet of the Apes is a good movie that holds up. I watched it like not too long ago, despite being made like 40 years, but despite being like 3 times older than me. It is a good movie. Good soundtrack too, actually. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. I would say if you haven't seen the original Planet of the Apes, rent that shit.
Do it.
Yeah, no, like even the soundtrack, like I looked up one of the songs on YouTube after that. I'm like, ooh, this is a fucking banger for like a song that came out like fucking 40 years ago.
I've seen it probably once with my dad. That's about it.
I mean, do you remember anything about it?
No, I was very young.
Worth a rewatch then. I actually give it a thumbs up for real.
Yeah, I only really like the first Planet of the Apes one. Like the first movie was, I didn't watch the other one. It was subsequent ones.
1968 was the original Planet of the Apes,
which I think would make that the oldest movie I've ever seen. No, I've seen John Wayne movies, so
I don't know if this is the oldest movie I've ever seen. It might be the oldest movie I've ever seen, if we're not counting anime. I've seen older anime, but I don't know. If we're counting live action, it might be the oldest live action I've ever seen.
So yeah, this movie does a lot better to rectify the bullshit from the first one. The comedy in it is a lot better. The action, the final fight scene between Venom and Carnage is absolutely fantastic. It's a shorter movie too. This movie's only like an hour. an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The,
I love it. I
which I
love that
think
sentence.
it benefits from it, but also doesn't at the same time, because it's very much like, let's get into the movie and just go from 1890s. Jesus Christ. It benefits from it, but also like there could have been, if there was an extra 10 minutes, it would have been perfect. I think because like there were some things that they kind of like rushed into because it was a 90-minute movie. Woody Harrelson, fucking fantastic as Carnage. He looks good. He plays the character well. Like, it is one of the best like villain performances. I'm gonna say it right now. It's up there with Thanos. It's very good. He
For
does
a comic book movie?
yeah, for a comic book movie. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think Thanos is that great of a villain portrayal anyway. I would say I want to say like Ian McKellen as Magneto is probably number one.
See, Magneto is one of those weird characters that I don't consider him a villain.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I get that.
I really cannot consider him a villain because like
I would say trying to commit human genocide makes you a villain, but
he does it for the right reasons because he loves his kind so much.
well, Thanos' dumbass I want to kill half the universe is still for a good reason. It's just stupid.
Yes.
But he's still a villain.
That's fair,
it's called being an anti-villain, is what you're describing. It's when you're a villain and your actions are bad, but you're doing it for a good reason.
Yeah, and like after Secret Wars too, like Magneto became like a good guy for a while too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Magneto's one
they
of those.
They didn't make a Secret Wars movie.
No, I said after like the comics.
Oh, in the comics, Magneto is a much more complicated character. I'm talking about in the movies because we're talking about villain portrayal in the movies. So.
Yeah, if you want to tell, I guess you're right then. Yeah, Ian McKellen is definitely up there too. Mm-hmm. If I could do a top 5, it'd probably be Josh Brolin as Thanos, Woody Harrelson as Carnage, definitely Ian McKellen. The number 1 would be definitely Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin.
And then yeah.
No, nobody can top Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. He's fucking nutty. It's great. But yeah, back to the Carnage movie. Yeah, it's
right. Sorry, I keep doing this.
While
we're on a tangent, I will actually say the oldest movie I've seen is 1939, which is Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that would be the oldest movie I've seen now. Movie fucking terrified me as a kid. Anyways,
really?
I hated that witch. I was not a fan of it.
Oh, I've read the books, as I've said before. She gets Dorothy just murders her. In the books, like in the movies, it's an accident. In the books, like Dorothy, like he gets angry and splashes water at her, and the lich is like, "Ah, fuck, I'm melting and dying." And Dorothy's like, "Excuse me, water kills you?" And she's like, "Yes." And Dorothy's like, "Cool." So she goes to get a new bucket of water and then dumps the water on her again, and then watches her melt. And then Dorothy grabs a broom and just sweeps her out of just sweeps the fucking like melted witch out of the door and goes, "Da da 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 da. I'm Dorothy. Fuck off." Bam.
That is 100% accurate.
Dorothy is a badass in the books. She gets mad at someone because Dorothy gets like a magic belt at one point in one of the later books. She gets mad at someone and threatens to teleport them into a volcano. Dorothy will kill your ass.
Also that makes sense, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm obviously not gonna go too much into this movie because obviously it just came out. The end credits scene is nutty, and I want to talk about it, but I'm not going to, because it's major spoilers for things to come.
Yeah, this movie's I didn't even know it was out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, marketing's been weird because like the first trailer came out in like March or April, and then the second trailer didn't come out until July or August, and then they just didn't have like any promo until 3 weeks before the movie came out. Strange. It's doing pretty well, so I mean they did something right. Yeah, everything other CGI in this movie is way better than the first one too. It didn't the Carnage and Venom fight didn't look like two globules of cum just fighting each other. So I thought that was really cool addition to the movie. The plot was coherent and made sense to what was going on in the movie. Other than that, I mean, it was a good movie. I definitely recommend going to see it or renting it when it comes out. I don't want to say
Um,
too much.
what I will say about Carnage is was such a cool character to me when I was a kid because I was like, oh, he's red Venom, so he's even cooler. As an adult, I now realize that Carnage is a shitty character idea because he's just Venom but less interesting.
Fair enough. That yeah.
So, is he just Venom but less interesting in this, or?
No, he's like it's more focused on Cletus than Carnage. Because the Carnage symbiote does have its own thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this is more of a story about Cletus Cassidy. It's honestly less of a story about Eddie Brock too in some respect too, because they focus a lot on the villain in this movie, which I think is more so interesting in most cases. Like I think that's why I like Infinity War a lot, is because they focus on the villain and like who he is, like why he's doing the things he's doing. Like you get a whole backstory subplot of Carnage and like why he's done the things he's done and like all this shit. And his relationship with
Oh, he's not just
Shriek
a
and all
crazed
that.
serial killer in this.
Yeah, like there's like a layer to his character, which is really
Oh shit!
nice.
So already
Yeah,
a better character than in the comics.
yeah, like it honestly, like yeah,
That's
it's
what
like
I'm
pretty good.
talking
Like
about. That's what you can do with the movies. Hindsight, fix the shit.
yeah, like they take a little bit from obviously the Carnage origin story and like a little bit from like Maximum Carnage too. Not
Mm-hmm.
too much from Maximum Carnage, but I think it's a good balance and um it's really good. It's a very good movie. I believe I gave it a 7. So it's definitely a lot better than Venom. I recently rewatched Venom a couple months ago, and I believe we talked about it on here. I don't remember.
Maybe.
But anyways, I rewatched it and that was the second time I ever watched that movie, and it's still not great. Sometimes when I watch a movie a second time, I either like it more, or even say neutral, or I dislike it more. Like when I've seen the Ghostbusters reboot again, and I hated it even more.
Why did you do
Um,
that?
because shitty movie Sunday, bro. I just needed something to watch. I don't know. I believe I watched that and Fan Four Stick back to back, and it was a terrible Sunday.
Yeah.
It's really bad. But yeah, go see this movie. Awesome job this time with this movie. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna obviously go see it again because my rule of thumb is I go see a movie once and I don't go back to it until things get a little bit better. Um, I would go see this movie again because it was that much fun. It was just a fun movie. They dropped the F-bomb, which I thought was in the perfect spot because when you're a PG-13 movie, you can only say it once,
You get
and
one F
it's
bomb. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you get one F-bomb, and they they put it in the fucking best part, and it's really good. Definitely recommend going to see it, and can't wait to see what happens with Venom.
If you're rated R, you get 499 F bombs.
499.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
If you say 500, you become you
X
yeah,
or adult or
or
whatever.
NR, yeah. Yeah, it goes up one level if you say it 500 times. It's a plot point in South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, which makes fun of it by saying the word fuck exactly 499 times.
That's really funny, actually. Yeah.
And they have like a counter that goes bing, bing, bing.
I thought that was in oh no, that's a shit episode. Never mind. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
the shit episode. Yeah. Okay.
South
Um,
Park loves making fun of dumb, arbitrary rulings.
they
Because the
really
idea
do.
is like, if you say it 500 times, it becomes excessive.
Yeah. It's the only movie rated NC-17 for all the swearing. Did not know that. I thought that was
Impressive. NC-17, that's what it's called.
Oh.
Not
Yeah.
yeah, R and then NC-17.
Go watch Venom 2. Don't watch Venom 1. Go watch Venom 2. Just forget that Venom 1 ever happened and just watch Venom.
Okay, so
At
you
the
would
same time.
recommend it even if I didn't like the original Venom movie then?
Oh yeah, I would 100% recommend it.
Okay, well, maybe I'll check it
Yeah.
out. Maybe this one I'll actually listen to you on.
Yeah. This one's I liked it a lot. I thought it was like, even Megan liked it too.
Hmm.
And she's doesn't know shit about comics and stuff, and she really liked it too. Because they had a Weinstein company blocking them and re-rated R without changing anything. Ah,
It
okay.
costs, I think, like $20,000 for a re-rating. Or, no, that's the ESRB. I don't know if movie ratings work the same thing, but basically, when you submit a game to the ESRB, they give you a rating, but you can pay to have it re-rated without changing anything. It just costs like I think like $20,000 like a pop to do it. So if you're like a big video game company, where if you look like at a game, like a higher budget game, like a South Park Stick of Truth or something, or like God of War, and you're like, how the fuck did they get this shit past the ratings? It's because the more money you have, the more you can pay a game to just get re-rated. You cannot do that in Japan, however. Which is why there's so much censorship for games in Japan. That like there are games that are made in Japan that are censored in Japan that are not censored in the West, because you cannot have you can't pay to have CERO re-rate your game like you can with the ESRB. But the ESRB, you can just keep paying to having your game re-rated and re-rated and re-rated until you get just the right amount of judges that are like, this is fine.
Fair enough.
So if you've ever played a game where you're like, how the fuck did that get through? That's how it got through. They probably had money. But that's also why indie games will have to like, when they're trying to like release on a platform, they will just straight up like cut and remove shit and change shit to get past ESRB ratings, because they can't afford to just keep dropping money on the re-rate.
That makes sense, yeah. One of those games I'm thinking about is God of War 1 with the titties.
All of the God of Wars have titties. You can get titties by the ESRB pretty easily, I think. I don't think they're that hard on titties for. I
mean, I get pretty hard on Twitter. You know what I mean?
I do. I don't think they. I don't think the ESRB. I believe you can show breasts in rated M games as long as it's not like excessive. It's probably like Twitch rules. As long as it's not excessive and you don't bring attention to it, you're probably good.
See, that's why I can't play games like that, because I just want to scream titties. Which is why I will not be streaming God of War 1.
That's fair. In God of War 1, we had an entire conversation about the Oracle's sheer top and whether it would be possible for her to have a sheer top in the year God of War is set. The answer is yes, just incredibly improbable.
You show a guy's dick, though. Well, it's because vaginas are sacred, that's why. You should never show your vagina to anyone. No matter what the cost. I've never personally seen one, so I don't even know what one looks like. But a dong, you can.
They're pretty great.
Looks like a dick. Yeah. What, a vagina?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, a dick. Like you can
Stops
see.
here.
You see.
Rent to own, I'd say.
Rent to own. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you see dicks drawn everywhere. You know, you don't see vaginas drawn everywhere. So that's probably.
Yeah, Stick of Truth is like a big one. Like South Park Stick of Truth, I have no idea how they got that shit past the ratings.
Oh, like the fucking scene and stuff?
Just everything about Stick of Truth. There's so much shit in Stick of Truth that you can tell Ubisoft was willing to drop cash to get that shit re-rated. You know, like, unless they got super lucky and it was like, one and done, like, you know they dropped money to get that shit past the censors.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, there were some questionable things that
you go up an asshole, you see bush, you see like full-on dick and masturbation scenes for men and women. There's a scene where you have a fight on a bed while your parents are having sex. They dropped cash for that game to get it to get that an M rating. That game should not be M rated.
No, it really shouldn't. No. All right, let's move on.
Yes.
To the next topic, which is yours and partially mine, because I've also seen this one.
Awesome. Nobody. I love that happened, because I felt like I had too many topics.
Yeah, I didn't have enough. I thought I'd have more, but unfortunately, one of my topics took up all my other time.
Excuse me. My weapon by endgame was a dildo, and my sub-weapon was these tampons. I think I had a similar build. Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk. So the poster made me think it was a comedic John Wick ripoff. And I was disappointed to find out that it was only slightly a John Wick ripoff and not a full-on comedic John Wick ripoff. And also it was slightly a serious movie. Basically, it's like, hey, what if Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad was a fucking was an action hero? I actually thought it was a pretty decent movie. What about you?
I really enjoyed this. Yeah, my best friend and I went to go see this because he's a huge Bob Odenkirk fan. Like, he loves Better Call Saul, he loves Breaking Bad and all that. So when this movie came out, I was like, "Yo, let's go see it." I saw it, and I thought this was like one of the best movies I've seen in a while. Actually, it was a very surprise hit because like it kind of came out in February, so when movies typically come out in January, February, like, oh, that's a
Yeah,
diarrhea dumping time for movies.
they don't care because they're not looking for an Oscar. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this movie like really surprised me at how good it was. Like the action was good in it. The few comedic parts that were in it were good. Christopher Lloyd kicks fucking ass in this movie, and I loved it. Like there was some good shit in here.
They're cousins made. Yeah. So my journey with this movie was disappointment that it wasn't what I thought it was, and then surprise that it turned out to be good anyway.
Yeah.
A couple things to appreciate. One of the funny things is like John Wick, because it's very clearly trying to like bite off the John Wick pie. He gets really mad because his dog dies, and he goes on his initial rampage, because his daughter loses her kitty bracelet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, if that's what kickstarts this, I'm on board.
I felt that. I felt that when that happened.
When he fucks up the Russian gangsters in the bus, what I really appreciate about that scene is like you get this distinction that like he's seen some fights and that he's a badass, but also he hasn't fought anyone in forever and he's super rusty. Like I like that like at the end of the fight he's just ripping them apart. But like at the start of the fight, he's getting his ass kicked too. Like he's giving it good, but he's also getting it good because really shows that like he has some rust on him, and it's been years since he's had to like go into it. You know,
it made it more believable too.
Yeah, yeah. What I will say in John Wick's defense is that if you follow the timeline for John Wick, the reason he is like fucking god tier right at the start is because John Wick hasn't been retired very long. Like, if you pay attention to John Wick, he was only married to his wife for, I think, like, a couple, like, months or something, like, a year or something. Like, it wasn't that long ago when John Wick retired. Whereas it's implied that, like, Bob Odenkirk's character has been out of the game for years and years. Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense where he's like, okay, I remember how to do this, but man, is my body just not doing it anymore.
Yeah, fun fact, never seen a John Wick movie.
The first one's pretty good. Second one's not as good. I mean, it's a good movie. It's not as good as the first one. I definitely recommend the first one. Honestly, the first one stands alone as a movie. Like, you wouldn't even need the second one. You could just watch the first one if you wanted.
Fair enough.
You might actually like it. It's just like a dumb action movie.
It's I do like some dumb action.
No, movies. I mean it's the exact kind of thing where I think it would be up your alley. It's like, here's the character, here's why you should like him. Here's the reason that he's going all action man. Goes action man. Movie ends.
That's literally my type of movie.
And it does it really quick. It's like, here's why you care. Action man. Okay, that's the rest of the movie. And it's like pop, 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 pop. Within like 20 minutes, he's like gunning down rooms full of people. So, solid movie, John Wick. Anyway, Nobody. Yeah, I really appreciate the rust he shows. Where I think this movie really kind of shined for me, where it went from like a movie I was enjoying to a movie where I'm like, hey, this is pretty good, is right at the end, is when they introduce like his dad in like the like the nursery home, and when they introduce his brother at the end of the movie, who I think is RZA, right?
Yeah.
From like Wu-Tang Clan, yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Which is like really, I was like, is that the RZA?
Shockingly enough, did pretty damn good job acting it too.
No, he was, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm actually impressed that you're this good of an actor.
He's been in a few movies where he did really good.
Yeah, no, I mean, shout out to him, yeah. He's making it. But yeah, I really like the end where they like come together as a family to kill the Russian gangsters. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd, fucking so good. Like, I haven't seen him in a movie in...
Fuck. That's the dad, right?
Yeah. Like, I can't remember the last movie that I saw him in, but like seeing him just come out and like do this movie and like be badass in it, and then to top it all up, be Rick for a 15-second Twitter commercial
Yeah.
for Rick and Morty. Fantastic year for Christopher Lloyd fans. I
Um,
love Christopher Lloyd. All his movies are great.
No, what I liked the most about the character. So I thought the whole family was cool, but what I liked the most about Christopher Lloyd's character in this movie was that like his whole like laissez-faire, laid back attitude. The way the character acts and is treated and through the movie, you get the sense that like you get the sense that like Bob Odenkirk's character is a cool badass, but he wasn't necessarily the best there ever was. Like with John Wick, right? You're like, this guy's cool, this guy's awesome. He's not necessarily the greatest, but when you see like Christopher Lloyd's character, you get the sense that like this man has seen some shit that you will just never. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely out of shape. He definitely doesn't have it anymore. But in his prime, you could tell this man was like John Wick level god tier. Just like clearly, you're like, if you were young, you could probably solo the mob by yourself. Is the impression I got from his character. I really liked it. I was like, this old man is a badass.
Yeah, like when he blasts a dude when he's sitting in the chair with a shotgun.
Oh yeah, that scene's so great. Yeah, they like walk up on him and they're like, "Hey, we're coming to get you," and then he just moves the towel and it's just a shotgun, and the guy's like, "Oh fuck," and it's just, bam.
The fuck you are.
And then the nurse comes in and he's just like sitting there like da 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 da, and there's just like a dead body. Oh god, shockingly good movie.
Very good movie. Yeah, I believe I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Like, it was a very solid movie.
Yeah,
it's definitely worth a rewatch too.
Yeah, I would definitely give this a rent, maybe rent to own even. I've added a fourth rank. There's now rent to own.
We should stream it.
There's buy on site, and then there's like rent it until you own it. I don't know what that means, but we've been going with Blockbuster rules the whole time anyway, so who cares?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Good old Blockbuster. We miss you. We remember you.
Yeah, no, like I said, the fucking because you don't rent anything anymore. Nobody rents shit. You either own it or you don't. So yeah, rent to own it.
Hell yeah, good movie. Go see it.
Rent to own is what you do with a car.
Yeah, it's like a lease.
Yeah.
You get to the end of the lease, you're like, "Do you want it?" You're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, you keep making payments on it until you own it. That's what you do with nobody. I don't think that was ever a thing with Blockbuster, but
Rent-to nowadays would probably be like errands and like Rent-A-Center, where you're technically renting it and then eventually own it.
Yeah, it's like that. My stepfather did that with the PS2. Rent to own the PS2.
Huge waste of money. They charge you like almost double.
Well, he wasn't a smart man.
Yeah. Neither was my mother, and that's why, or my ex-girlfriend, because I told her, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a washer from Rent-A-Center." I'm like, "You're literally gonna pay like $1,200 for the $600 washing machine? I will literally just buy it." And then like I come home and like they're just there. I'm like, "You idiot!"
Yeah.
Like, way to go. And I was like, and then she's like, "Oh, can you help me pay for it?" I'm like, "No, that's a waste of my money. Hell no."
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I also prefer to. I would rather save up and then buy something all at once than rent to own. But I think it gives a. This is the same guy who loved Lunar. Yes, his favorite game was Lunar. I believe Silver Star Story is the first Lunar. So.
What guy? Oh,
stepfather. Yeah.
Yeah. I think wait, what?
Silver Star Story. I'm surprised Maid remembers that information. Was Silver Star the first Lunar, or was it the second Lunar?
I believe it was the first one.
Yeah, it was the Silver Star Story, and then the second one was Blue something or another, I think. I always wanted to replay that game. Play that game. I was never allowed to play it growing up. Eternal Blue was the second Lunar. Yeah, I always wanted to play that game because I never got to as a kid. It always looked like an interesting game. I was like, what? How good is Lunar really? Anyway, general rule of thumb: you never really want to rent to own unless you need it immediately and you can't afford it currently. But who cares about that? These are arbitrary movie rankings anyway. So yeah, rent to own nobody. Yep.
Also, if you do rent to own, pay within like the 90 days that they normally give you, or else you will pay double.
You try to try to pay it off as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's what
This
I do
is
with my
mostly for
PC.
like cars and houses, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and sometimes like larger appliances like refrigerators and washing machines and shit. But yeah, try to pay it off as quick as possible so that the interest doesn't, because the interest is, they want you to pay interest, so try to make sure you pay them as little interest as possible.
Yeah,
Why
that's
am
how
I
my
giving
PC works.
financial advice to people? Do that with
And,
your
so-
loans, by the way, too. You take out like a student loan, try to pay that shit off quickly.
Oh yeah.
Just,
Oh yeah. 100%.
you do not want to pay the interest. To get it paid off. I'm ready to move on.
All right. Car loans too. I pay an extra like $100 on my car every month, so I pay it off quicker.
Very smart. Very smart. It's what you do.
Yeah. Next one after it was Sack and John's financial advice. We're on to a Magnificent Seven,
Have you
which is
seen?
a movie I saw a very long time and I remember very little about.
That's fair.
I remember Ethan Hawke in it and Nick Nolte. Those, and yeah, that's about it.
Very good cast for this movie. Actually,
I didn't like it.
the cast.
The cast is good, yes.
Let me just
movie
let me read out the cast for this movie.
Ethan Hawke, Nick Nolte, Chris Pratt,
It
Denzel
is
Washington.
Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio, Lee Byung-hyun, Manuel Garcia Ruffalo, Martin Sennmeiser, Haley Bennett. It's a lot of people. Anyway, Matthew Posey. I think those are the important characters. Anyway, yeah, star-studded cast in this movie. It wasn't very good.
No, I remember not liking it. That's why until I just saw it now. I actually confused it for Hateful Eight. I'm like, wow, I really like the movie. Then I looked at it again. I'm like, oh, that's a movie I didn't like. That's like Hateful Eight, kind of.
Yeah, this is not Hateful Eight by Quentin Tarantino. This is Magnificent Seven, which I think is a remake of like a '60s Western movie I've never seen that I hear is also good. I hear the original is actually better.
Yeah, I believe John Wayne's in that one. Don't quote me on it.
No idea. I mostly watched this movie because the poster kind of looked cool. And I watched it with Grandma Sack, who loves Western movies, so I was like, maybe we should watch Magnificent Seven. So we watched Magnificent Seven. She loved it. She loves Western movies. Because she's that age where she grew up with them, so... because the whole Western boom at the time, for her, Western movies are like superhero movies for our generation.
Yeah.
So
okay, it wasn't whoever I said it was, Charles Bronson. I'm thinking of who was this
Charles
movie.
Bronson. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, and also the like trailer song for this is pretty fucking good. It's like Ready for War. So that kind of inspired me to be like, oh, this could be a good watch. No, it's really fucking boring. The biggest issue is that none of the characters were likable, except for the Bear Man, who is played
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bear Man was was like the only character I think I cared about. And most of the characters they bothered to develop die. Spoilers, everyone dies in this movie.
Yeah,
everyone
really
you want to live at the end dies.
This movie's like 5 years old, right? Or maybe even older.
Yeah, any character 2016.
Okay.
So yeah, any character you want to live that you might like, or any character that they put any time at all into developing dies.
I'm pretty sure it's only like Denzel that survives, right?
Denzel and the Native American guy, who I don't remember any of these characters' names. I'm sorry. That's one issue you have with an ensemble cast is that almost guaranteed your cast is good. Nobody is going to know the name of your characters.
Yeah, because I remember actually when I watched the movie and they kill Chris Pratt, I'm like, you can't kill Chris Pratt.
Yeah. See, that's part of the problem with ensemble casts is it doesn't become you killed Josh Faraday. It becomes you killed Chris Pratt.
Yeah, like really, yeah. Ethan Hawke too was another one that really he gets shot with like a fucking arrow, right? Or no, does he get shot with a bullet?
No, Vincent D'Onofrio gets shot with an arrow.
Okay, that's who. Yeah, okay, that's who gets shot with the arrow. Because I remember that, but I remember Ethan Hawke like dying in a fucking field or something.
Ethan Hawke was Goodnight Robichaud. He was gunned down by a Gatling gun.
That's what it was. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it being
So,
pretty crazy.
as well as Lee Byung-hun's Billy Rocks. They were in the same tower when the Gatling gun killed them.
That's right. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, that's another thing about it is like Chisholm isn't the one who survives the end of the movie. It's Denzel Washington who lives to the end of the movie.
Yeah, I remember very vaguely that it was just. I'm pretty sure Denzel has never died in a movie.
I don't know if that's true, but if so, good for him, I guess.
Don't quote me. I'm gonna Google it right now.
Fun fact about Western movies. Western movies are very fictionalized, glamorized versions of Wild West, and that era was never like the movies. They were made in Italy, which is why they're a caricature and were very successful. They eventually made their way to the U.S., and that's why they're called spaghetti westerns. That's why they're called spaghetti westerns. I've heard that term mostly in like Metal Gear, and I'm like, why the fuck are they called? What the fuck is a spaghetti western?
Wait, what? I missed that entire thing. Because I was Googling that.
It's Mage Chat comment. You can, another fun fact about westerns is the 10-gallon hat, like the cowboy hat that you see, was not.
Oh, okay.
It existed, and some people wore them, but it wasn't very popular. It was actually the bowler hat that was the most popular in the Wild West. In fact, the bowler hat was called the hat that won the West. So that's fun. Anyway, yeah, if you care about any character in this movie, they're fucking dead. And if you don't care about them, they're probably dead. But the entire cast was assholes except for Bearman. I hated all of them, and I didn't give a shit that any of them died. So that probably wasn't great either.
He's died in a lot of movies. I take that back.
Okay.
Because he was Malcolm X, and I'm like, yep, that makes sense. Moving on.
What else was he in? He was in I'm just looking through this real quick, don't worry.
With Vincent D'Onofrio?
No, Denzel Washington. You said Denzel Washington was
he died in a crap ton of movies.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah,
he was died in Elsewhere. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Malcolm X he died in, Training Day he died in, which also starts in Ethan Hawke too, funnily enough.
Huh.
Book of Eli. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, that was Magnificent Seven. It wasn't good, and I don't recommend watching it. This is a skip. Yep, you nailed it.
Skip it.
All right, next up is another movie I watched.
A movie I have not seen.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, I've never seen this movie.
This movie came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it has a pretty stacked fucking cast, though.
Yeah.
It's a Coen movie, too.
You've heard of it, though, right? No Country for Old Men?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been highly recommended for me to watch. I've just never seen it on any streaming platform, so I've never watched it.
Oh, okay. I got it on Netflix, but DVD Netflix, not streaming Netflix. So here's what I will say about this. No Country for Old Men. I'll just get it out right here. Because you haven't seen it, I'll start off with saying I recommend this.
Yeah, I was gonna say everyone has. Yeah,
I recommend this, and I'll say it's a rent to own on this one. This is actually a pretty decent movie. I thought I was gonna be bored to tears. I've heard people talk all about this movie and like praise it up and down, and then they're like, "Oh man, that scene's one of my favorites." So I'll look up the scene on a clip on YouTube, and I'll be like, that was fucking boring as hell. Why the fuck would anyone like... Everything I saw from this movie looked super boring.
Like
huh? Yeah, no, I thought it
it
always looked boring. The thing is, when you're watching the movie and you're sitting there and you're looking at it, and then you get to that scene in context, suddenly it's interesting. Like,
that
divorced from context, it's like, this movie looks super fucking boring, but if you're sitting there and you're watching the whole thing back to back and you're into it, all of a sudden, all those scenes that are boring by themselves, like, divorced, just suddenly be like, yeah, all right, and, like, the tension gets added in. It basically, this young guy with a wife is out hunting, and he comes across a drug deal went bad. And he finds like massive bricks of cocaine, and he finds a suitcase full of money. I think like $100,000 in cash or something.
The IMDb page says $2 million.
$2 million in cash. The actual amount of money doesn't super matter. I'm going to be honest with you. So what happens is like cartel, I assume, ends up sending someone after him, a man named Anton, who is just like an emotionalist Terminator of a man. But interestingly enough, he's one of those like principled villains where he has his own moral code. If you were to like, okay, so here's the thing about him is if you have ever seen one of those block texts where people try to fit characters from movies into D&D alignments.
Yeah.
I'm sure most people have seen it. Most of those are terrible because most people don't understand D&D alignments. This man is lawful evil. Like, if you were to be like, I need an example of lawful evil, Anton is lawful evil. It's perfect. He has a code. He follows his code. He's also a killer Terminator man. It's actually like it's hard to because again I think I recommend this, but I also don't want to spoil it.
Some Pluto TV.
Despite it's fucking old as shit. Despite this movie coming out like 2006, 2007, I still don't want to spoil it because if you haven't seen it, I think you should watch it.
I do want to watch it. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
You should watch. I recommend it. Watch it for the podcast next time. We'll talk about it next month.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
But full spoilers. If it comes up on podcast again, full spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just a really good movie, surprisingly tense. You never know what's gonna happen in it. It keeps you guessing. Like I had a vague idea of how it ended, and I was still guessing the whole time. Yeah, just solid all around. Kind of dark, kind of depressing in times. But yeah, good time if you want just like a tense sort of like drama with like minor action cut-ins. Oh, what I will say is that Anton is fucking smart too. Like when I call him like an emotionalist killer Terminator lawful evil man, he isn't just like walk through the door guns blazing Rambo style. Like there's like several the movie doesn't bring a super amount of attention to it, but if you're paying attention to what he's doing, you can see why he's doing it and you're like, man, this man's smart. So yeah. he's not just a Terminator, he's a smart Terminator.
The best Terminator. I really like Javier Bardem, and obviously Josh Brolin's he's fantastic at like a lot of movies. If you've ever seen the W biopic that Josh Brolin's in, absolutely watch it. It's one of my, besides the Facebook movie, it's probably one of my favorite biopics ever. This is just so good. Like it's just ridiculous.
I've seen him in exactly 2 movies.
This and then Avengers.
He was in Avengers?
Oh, we're talking about Josh or Javier?
Javier.
Okay. What other movie?
He was in a James Bond movie because I've seen all of the Bond films.
Funny thing, I was about to say he was one of my favorite Bond villains too. Fun fact.
I was actually gonna say he was in Skyfall. I was actually gonna say I didn't like him in Skyfall.
Really, I liked him a lot in Skyfall.
He was in Skyfall and No Country for Old Men, so I've seen him in exactly 2 movies. He's really good in this movie. I didn't like him as Silva in Skyfall. But I did like the movie Skyfall, interestingly enough. I would say Skyfall is the best Bond movie. So even though I wasn't super fond of him in that movie, it's still a good movie. So
apparently he's playing King Triton in the Little Mermaid remake live action thing. He's also in Dune. I did not know he was in Dune.
Oh, I've seen Dune. Oh,
no, like the
the new Dune. Okay.
Yeah, the new Dune. The one that was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Excuse me. Okay, I was like, he was in Dune.
Yeah, I've seen him in Skyfall. Unfortunately, Pirates of the Caribbean.
He was in Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I've seen him in 3 movies, and I've only liked him in this one. I thought. To be fair, I might have also just not liked the character in both of those movies.
Fair.
So I don't really want to judge him as an actor. He might just get really.
He's actually a really good actor. He's one of those actors I'm like, please be in the MCU and play a villain.
It might be guys. He just keeps ending up in roles I hate.
No, that's fair. With her, I'll be disappointed. Mate, I don't watch horror. I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't watch horror. I think horror movies are stupid. I'll watch one horror movie for you though.
If we're gonna, you know what you should watch is The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
From last year?
So, this is an off-camera thing. I think we're done with this movie. Rent to Own, I highly recommend it. Good movie. This is a thing last year. We had an off-camera decision last September, where we decided, hey, we're both going to watch the same horror movie, and we're going to talk about it as a little special for the October podcast. We decided to watch The Autopsy of Jane Doe. So I watched The Autopsy of Jane Doe. You know who didn't watch The Autopsy of Jane Doe for over a year? Guess.
Well, the thing is, like, every time I went to go watch it, like, I was like, nah, I think I'm too tired. I'll watch it tomorrow. And that happened, like, every fucking night until I just forgot. Which is, like, classic me. Because I would go to watch it at, like, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I don't want to fall asleep and then have to rewatch it. We should... I did already watch a horror movie for next month. I watched it actually. I watched it last week because I was gonna pepper it into here, but I'm just gonna save it for next month.
And are you also gonna watch The Autopsy of Jane Doe?
Is it still on?
I have no fucking idea anymore.
If it's on that streaming service that I'm not gonna mention, so we don't have to cut it out. Let's see the. Autopsy. I do want to watch that new Dave Chappelle special because everyone's getting pissy about it. Autopsy. I don't think it is on here. Nope. It is in fact not on that streaming platform.
Well, shoot.
Yeah.
What streaming platform is this? I'm gonna have to cut this anyway. There was too much of a break.
Netflix.
Oh, we don't have to cut out Netflix.
Oh, okay.
I don't cut out the word Netflix.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's not on because that's where it was last year. It was on Netflix.
Yeah. That's where I watched it. Anyway, I probably won't watch horror movies because I don't really watch horror movies.
I've seen Suspiria. I've seen the original and the remake.
Might watch Mulan. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about watching Mulan. So maybe I will have a horror movie to talk about.
The live action Mulan? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm
not a huge fan. I did watch one though.
The animated one's really good.
Oh, I love the animated one.
All right, am I ready to move on?
Yeah, let's move on to the last topic before the main event.
Yes.
It's an anime that I watched.
And I did
Kaisen. I watched it because it has all the things I love in it. Supernatural, and more supernatural.
Yeah, this is a 2020 anime, so I haven't gotten to it yet.
No. Surprisingly, very good. The sensei guy with the blindfold is very much like Kakashi from Naruto. Which nothing wrong with that. I love Kakashi. I think
I like how you're like. I like how you say surprisingly very good when I imagine you watched the dub version, which took I think like a year to come out because this shit wasn't dubbed for like a year.
Yes. I did watch dub.
They dubbed it relatively recently, and I like how you're like surprisingly really good when this show was really under the radar when it first started airing, and then everyone and their brother kicked off onto it when it was airing originally in 2020, and it ended up as a surprise like smash hit for the anime season.
So fun fact.
So you're like surprisingly very good, but when you watched it after everyone had already said it was good.
I didn't. I was scrolling through, I believe, VRV, and I saw it, and I read the description. I was like, "Oh, that sounds like something I like," and I just watched it. Then I realized that this show was like one of the hype shows. I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it went
I'm
under
not
the radar for the first few episodes, and then people started like catching on to it. It was a sleeper hit, kind of like everyone was like, oh what's this? Like it wasn't even dubbed, like simul-dubbed, like they would normally do with like shonen shows, and then it exploded in popularity, kind of like Demon Slayer did after episode 19.
yeah.
And so yeah, so you watched it after everyone had already known about it.
Well, I thought I
So it's
was
not
watching.
that surprising. It would be surprising if you watched it when it came out, but
See, I thought I was doing my due diligence to watch something that wasn't super popular until I watched it and then realized it was super popular.
yeah.
Whatever.
You
It
know,
was.
I appreciate that you're trying to break out of
I was,
your normie
I
shell.
was trying. Yeah, I really was trying, dude. Um, I believe I already rated it on my Mal too. Basis of this though, like the pink haired dude. I don't remember his fucking name. I watched this a very long time ago. Yeah, Yuji swallows a demon finger and basically becomes possessed by a demon. Who's really cool. I can't remember the fucking demon's name. I watched this too long ago. What the fuck is his name? Doesn't matter. Um, so yeah, so then he joins this group of fucking sorcerers type things that fights demons and shit. It's really cool. It was a fun watch. I really enjoyed it. It's funny. The action scenes are pretty damn good. The plot is coherent. Um, Evil Dead, the original one from 1981. So made spoilers. That's the movie that I watched for horror month. I just watched that last week.
I've seen Evil Dead, but I haven't watched them in a long time. I think I have Army of the Dead on my shelf somewhere, but that's about
Yeah.
it.
Spoilers. That's what I'll be talking about for Spooky.
If you want to watch a funny comedy movie with horror themes, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I have seen that. Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, Evil Dead's my go-to like one horror movie that I want that with the Evil Dead series in general because I love Bruce Campbell. I just love that series. It's so fucking nutty. I always come back to those movies like every Halloween. Those are like my go-to. Like I want to watch a spooky movie, I'll watch that because they're like fun, they're silly, and fucking enjoyable. I like them. I hate the remake though. I think the remake is
Pretty
terrible.
sure 4-year-old Zach's favorite movie is on Amazon Prime.
What's that?
That would be Hellraiser.
Oh, fun fact, never seen it.
Oh, watch Hellraiser. I think it's on Prime Video.
Oh, yeah. It might be on another one. I think I saw it earlier, actually.
Do you not have Prime Video?
No, I got Prime.
Oh, okay.
Wait, it's like free on streaming?
I think so.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Maybe I'll watch that. Yeah, back to Jujutsu. Yeah, really good movie. All the characters are pretty. It's a very small cast, so they don't overwhelm you with like a shit ton of characters.
You can tell
So
it's a sleeper hit because they didn't localize the name. Sorcery fight, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, yeah. It's so you actually get to spend a lot of time with all the characters, even like the bad guy that lives within him. You kind of get to see him. You get to see him get his ass fucking whooped too. Like this is not. I wouldn't recommend this to children because it's very bloody and semi-graphic too. It was a lot of fun. I really liked it.
R17 plus.
Yeah. I'd really a lot of cursing and stuff too. Just a very adult. There's some fucking body horror in it too, which is really interesting too.
I imagine it was pretty well animated because it was by MAPPA.
Oh, it was fantastically animated. Like it looked very good. Like I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
This runs in Weekly Shonen Jump.
Oh, it does. Okay.
So same magazine as Boruto, One Piece.
All the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Fuck Boruto though.
They're gonna have a time skip soon.
Boruto?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. They're gonna spoilers for Boruto, but they're gonna fucking kill Kurama and fucking get rid of Sasuke's Rinnegan and do a fucking time jump. Fuck them. Stupid. I hate it. Yeah,
I don't know which of these decisions were made by Kishimoto and which were made by the guy that Kishimoto took over from.
I don't know, but who? It's fucking.
I know, like Kishimoto was brought in to unfuck Boruto.
Did he really?
Yeah, no, he was brought in to unfuck it. They booted off the original Boruto author after he like because Kishimoto lost all creative control over Boruto. And the guy who like took over was like, no, you don't get any creative control. You didn't want any part of Boruto. I'm in charge now. And for whatever reason, the guy got like kicked off of making the manga, and which is weird. It's very uncommon. For that to happen, it takes like keep in mind like the guy who creates Rurouni Kenshin is still in the industry and they still acknowledge him. So the fact that they like stealth banned the Boruto author, I have no fucking idea what this man did.
It made a terrible show.
Yeah, but yeah, so Kishimoto is in control of Boruto, so I don't know what decisions were made pre-Kishimoto and post-Kishimoto, but Kishimoto might unfuck Boruto, I don't know.
Well, whoever decided to kill off Kurama and get rid of Sasuke's like best ability, stupid idea.
A counterpoint, Sasuke never should have had the running gun in the first place, and it was a stupid plot point. But
fair enough, but
once it's there...
Exactly, don't get rid of it. Because it makes him special and unique. Now he's just like boring. Like who cares? Anyways, definitely go watch or read Jujutsu Kaisen. A lot of fun. Had a lot of good fun with this. Pretty excited to see a second season to it. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but I'm sure they'll probably rush the dub now that it's gotten so popular. So hopefully I'll be able to see it eventually.
Yeah, they might there is no sequel announcement.
Really?
Nope. But there is a movie coming. It's a prequel movie. It will be airing December 24th, 2021. So my guess is if the sequel movie... is the manga done yet?
I have no idea. I didn't check that.
Well, you should be... No, it isn't. So yeah, my guess is if the movie does well, they'll probably make a second season. That's usually how it goes. So yeah. if you want season 2 of this, watch the movie.
No, I'll probably watch the movie. I really enjoyed the show. I enjoyed all the characters, all the voice acting, everything. The animation was top tier, so I'll definitely watch it.
But yeah, I might watch it maybe next year.
Fair enough.
Because I still have to get through all of my 2019 anime.
Yeah.
So, and I have about 20 more of those. What I've decided to do is I've decided to watch a bunch of short anime, and I'm going to like create like 4 bulk episodes, like 4 to 5 bulk episodes of Water back to back that I'll just like air weekly while I'm finishing up the remaining episodes of the remaining like 2019 anime.
Nice.
But this is a 2020 anime, so it'll be quite some time before I can get to this.
Fair enough. We'll go full spoilers then. I don't want to ruin anything.
But 2020 is a pretty light year for anime, so I think there's only like 50 or so, maybe 50, 70 things that came out that year that were actually worth watching. So.
Neat. All right, let's move on to the main event. Drum roll, please.
All right, Anime Dartboard is the segment where we discuss a previously selected maximum 500-minute dubbed anime and then choose another one.
That is exactly what we do.
Yes.
It is either fun for me or torturous for me. It really depends on what we have to watch.
I wanted to do a very plain one this time, so that there's enough of a break between the fucking anniversary podcast one, so that when I come in hot again, you won't be compared to it won't be compared to my anniversary intro.
Fair enough.
This is Magic Users Club OVA, not the TV anime, which is a sequel. So, John, what did you think of Magic Users Club, the OVA?
I fucking hated it. I'm not gonna be completely honest. I hated all 6 episodes.
Okay. So you did watch all 6 episodes then?
I watched all 6 episodes.
Okay. Okay. What did you hate about it?
Just everything, like the plot, the characters, the terrible animation, the music. I hated it all. It was offensive to every sense, including taste and touch.
I could somehow taste and touch it. Huh?
Yeah, like there was a
Um.
lot of like horny guy jokes, and I was like, like,
Yeah.
and like it was only 6 episodes, but it felt like 13.
You're right. Gotcha.
And like I still don't understand how the fuck it ended. Like it just fucking went from. I feel like it could have benefited from being like a 12 episode thing to like kind of get more into it. But like by the sixth episode, like I had to make like when the app stopped playing the show, I like went to go check and make sure there wasn't another episode. I'm like, that was the ending. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a sort of a slog. I thought the premise was interesting. Like the Space Force tried to hold off a bell from outer space, and it just didn't work. And then the bell was sourcing for magic, but they managed to like break out with the power of friendship and magic and shit.
Yeah, friendship. Yeah.
One thing I appreciated about this was the main character's best friend. One trying to get her out of this dumb shit magic club. But two, I appreciated where she like confesses to the gay guy, and the gay guy, and like I really like the direction they went with that. Where it's the show takes a surprisingly like earnest and like a serious, heartfelt moment, and he's like, "Oh, no."
Oh no, sweetie.
But no, but like it's actually a really good moment. Like she knows it's like pointless, but she does it anyway, and like he lets her down gently, but is also like, no, no, I'm very clearly gay, and I'm also like impressed that the show committed to that.
Yeah,
Too.
they really committed to it.
Yeah, they committed to it. A lesser show wouldn't have. So shout out to that. I
Yeah.
also kind of appreciated the like. I want to call them the manga club. I watched this a while ago. Like President and her like crush on her like childhood friend who like headed the Magic Club.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting dynamic what they did with that. But overall, I felt the show was like very slow going, kind of silly, a little over the top, but not necessarily in an interesting way. Unlike John, I didn't find this to be offensive on every single level. In fact, I didn't even I found it very bland, honestly.
It was very boring.
It was
A
very
very boring show.
it was very bland to me. It was uh like like unsweetened oatmeal. Um with not quite enough water in it. Like so it was a little chunky, little hard to get down, but there wasn't a whole
Exactly,
lot of
offensive to every sense.
it wasn't a lot of flavor to it in the first place.
Yeah,
I
if
thought
honestly, I wouldn't have finished this if I wasn't playing a game while watching it at the same time.
yeah.
So like it was background noise for me because I was like I watched the first like 2 episodes and I was like I need to do something while watching this, so I'm just gonna get bored of it. So I
Yeah.
just like watched and played New World at the same time, and I was like, all right, this is a little bit better. I'm not like incredibly bored, but yeah, it was just damn offensive.
It is chunky unsweetened oatmeal. Is
Yeah.
my review of Magic Users Club.
I
Um,
would say more like sour milk, but to each own.
I don't think it had enough flavor to be sour anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not even good enough to be sour milk.
Yeah, there were things to appreciate it about it, but it just didn't. I don't really find enough. Like, I didn't think there was many negatives to the show, but there also wasn't really anything super positive about it either.
It was it was in the meh category for
It
me.
was
Like,
very meh. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It was only 6 episodes, so it wasn't. At least it wasn't like 13 episodes of bleh, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like you it would have benefited from being 13 episodes, but
yeah, still better than Skycrawlers.
which is shorter.
Yeah, surprisingly,
I would
that
agree
movie
this is
felt like
better than Skycrawlers. I gave this a 5. I gave this a 5 out of 10.
I gave it a 4.
That's fair. I could say
Yeah,
that. I could.
I
I
give
wouldn't
it,
fault
I
anyone
give
for giving it a 4.
I can't give it lower than a full because it's like an actual show with like actual animation and voice acting and stuff. Not that it was good on all fronts, but it was there.
It was certainly there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. This is, I think, like a '90s original OVA that very clearly had a poor budget.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I can tell it's like they wanted to be like Sailor Moonish, like with the end, like the art style, but it just doesn't slap as
no,
good.
I would not
Really?
agree. No,
It reminded me, like the art style reminded me of Sailor Moon, like just like the tinginess of
that
like
is
how it
because you
looked.
are too much of a normie.
I guess you're right.
That's
Yeah.
because you're too normie. Although I believe the guy who did it worked on Sailor Moon.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Which
Well, because
is
even what was the one that made me told me to watch? Like that one was from the '80s. Fucking what
Wicked
was it
City.
called? Yeah, like that one looked better than this, and that one's older. You know what I mean?
It was also an OVA. Like it had a higher budget.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. The Junichi Sato directed Sailor Moon season 1. So that might be why you're picking up Sailor Moon vibes. There's a lot of distinction between like the art style. I wouldn't say this is like maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I wouldn't really say this looks like Sailor Moon to me. It just to me this just looks like what one would expect from like a '90s anime.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's where that correlation goes. Cause it kind of gave me like like the DBZ vibes, like Yu Yu, but just not as well animated as those shows.
I feel like because this is an original anime that was directed by Junichi Sato. What I think happened was I think he wanted to create this, but he just didn't have the time or budget to pull off what he was actually going for. Like in a way, I
Yeah.
almost feel like this was a pitch to make something else. You know, like to maybe like lead into a full series is kind of what I feel like.
Yeah, I can kind of back that too because it does feel like it's a part one of a story that's not fully there yet.
Yeah, like
Which is why
almost
I said it
like
would have benefited from 6 more episodes.
yeah, or like a 13 episode anime sequel, perhaps on TV.
Yeah.
Like a televised 13 episode anime sequel, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, like I hated it, but like if somebody was like, "Oh, what's like a '90s anime that I could watch that I could get done quick?" I'd probably recommend it
Okay,
because maybe they'll like it.
yeah,
I mean, I know I didn't, but maybe they would. I don't know.
yeah,
Like if my aunt came to me and she's like, "I want to watch something that has magic in it and it's an anime," I'd be like, "Watch this one."
but I have less than 500 minutes.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Watch it. 6 episodes. It's easily watchable, and maybe you'll like it." I
Yes,
didn't. But
yes.
maybe you will.
Um, yeah. All right. So yeah, that I mean I don't really have much to say about it. It was pretty short and like I said, chunky unsweetened oatmeal.
Yeah, nothing really happened.
Nothing really happened. I would
So
agree to
there's like
that.
6 episodes and like nothing happens the entire time.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
even my daughter was like, "This show's pretty boring." I'm like, "This is why you're my kid. You understand things."
I told you don't watch this at work the day of because you're gonna have trouble getting through it. I said that on a
Fair
stream.
enough.
I don't
Yeah.
remember if you heard it. I'm like, you're gonna want to watch this the day before, not because of nudity, but because it's a slog.
Yeah, because I watched it. I watched it the Thursday before we were supposed to do it last week. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like just sitting here and I'm like, "Fucking Christ, man."
Zach said it was a slog.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And I never expect something that's 6 episodes to be so boring.
You didn't make it through Sky Crawlers, and that was half as long.
You're damn right. I watched the opening part of that movie. I'm like, I'm done with this,
And I have finished Sky Crawlers.
and I'm done. Here's my review. Didn't finish.
Yes. Well, all right. Yeah, I give it a nice 5 out of 10. At least we're
Yeah,
done with it.
yeah.
Uh,
But I made the commitment to finish the animes going forward, so I'm doing that, regardless of if they're boring or not.
oh, good for you. I'm proud.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it, even if I hate it.
Anyway, yeah, so before we spin the next dart, I actually added a bunch of a new anime to the list, so it's actually larger than the last time we did this.
Neat.
Excuse me. One of the new things I added was
Envoy.
Mahotsukai Tai TV, which is the 13-episode anime television series for Magic Users Club.
You know, I don't normally say this, but I fucking hate you for that.
It is entirely possible that we could get the sequel to Magic Users Club on the dartboard. It might even be this month.
If I have to watch that back to back, honestly, like horror month is gonna get real spooky because it's gonna blow my fucking brains out. I don't. God damn it, Seth.
There's like a one.
There's like a feeling.
When I mentioned that the TV series is 13 episodes that many times in a row.
That, and when I asked you, I'm like, it's the sixth one, right? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, well, there's this sneakily 13 episode one too.
I believe I said. I think I said something like, yeah, for now.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Well, let's hope we don't get that back to back, because that'll be
There is a 1 in 90 chance.
I don't like these odds.
At least I think it's 1 in 90. I can double check right now. I can Control A, and because I have the document, and I can tell you they're 1 in 96.
Okay, those odds
I added like 10 anime since last time.
Okay,
so there's a 1 in 96 chance we get this again.
You basically re-upped on the whole 1 year of watching.
Yeah, you were like, when we get to like episode 80, we'll be doing anime arcs. I'm like, no, we won't. I'll never run out.
Back to back, made ones back to back. Absolutely not.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we ready to spin this fucker?
I swear, if it comes up, I'm gonna fucking puke. But yeah, let's spin it.
All right. Let's do it. Oh,
I swear to fucking God. If you start laughing, I'm gonna know it's.
Well, it's on screen now. We have the new technology. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. We have new tech. We're like Tony Stark in this.
Shuffle. Shuffle.
I swear to fucking God, if I have to watch this back to back. I like this new tech we got.
Taiho Shicho Zo. Alright, well, great news, John. I don't know what this is.
Oh, that's either good or bad.
Taiho Shicho Zo. Oh, shit! You're under arrest! Okay, I'm actually excited about this one. Okay, you're under arrest by Studio Dean, which is actually a decent studio. Let's see. It is 4-episode OVA series, aired in 1994 to 1995. Its genres are action and comedy. Its theme is police. Demographic is seinen, with 30 minutes per episode. So it's about 2 hours altogether. With an average score of 7.46. Running late on her first day as a patrolwoman for the Bakuto Police Department, spunky moped rider Natsumi Sugimoto decides to take several shortcuts, only to be chased down and cited by mechanical genius and expert police driver Miyuki Kobayakawa. Upon arrival at precinct, Natsumi finds out that her new partner is the same woman who ticketed her earlier. At first, she doesn't trust Miyuki, but in a short period of time, they develop an unbreakable friendship that overcomes traffic accidents, reckless drivers, and even the strongest typhoons to hit Tokyo. So this is not an unknown anime. I've seen bits of pieces of it. Oh, this is directed by Kazuhiro Furuhashi, who I have heard of, I think. Yeah, this is not an unknown anime. This is a semi-popular, like, 90s anime. I wouldn't call it a classic. But it's been around. People know of it. Let's see. This man directed Amatsuki, Binshotan, Dororo 2019. Oh God. Wait, no. This is Get Backers, right? Not Handshakers. Yeah, this is Get Backers and not Handshakers. So that one's okay. I don't know what that is. He directed the original Hunter x Hunter, Le Chevalier Dion. He directed Gundam Unicorn. Let's see. He directed Oh, he directed Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Anime I haven't seen yet, but everyone says watch it.
And he was an animation director on Urusei Yatsura. So this man's been around since like the 80s at least. So he's a guy. He's done shit. People know of him.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I've seen clips of it. It just looks amusing. And look at all of the sequel potential that I can throw onto the darts.
Oh boy, I can't.
Look at all of this shit I could throw on. Another
Jesus
TV
Christ.
series, a special. There's a movie apparently, a second season, another season called Full Throttle. Yeah, 47.
With the,
I guess I can't.
subtext
I guess
Full
I can't throw a
Throttle,
47 episode anime series on. 20 mini specials, a full movie. Okay, well, I guess I can't throw any of this on here because all of this is too long.
Woo!
But at the very least, I clearly added this on with the intention of watching the rest of it.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is what?
What was that? What?
Well,
Watching what?
what?
What are you saying? What you put on what to watch?
I added You're Under Arrest with the intention of watching the rest of the You're Under Arrest
Oh, okay. That
anime.
makes sense. Okay.
At one point, yeah. Because this is the first part of it, so this is supposed to lead you into the rest of it.
That makes sense.
And there's also a spin-off called You're Under Arrest in America.
Interesting.
Apparently. Yeah. So I think this might be a decent. I'm expecting a 6 or 7 90s OVA. That's what I'm expecting from this. I think this is going to be a decent, slightly comedic cop show from the 90s.
No, well, if it's unlike anything that we just watched, I'll like it.
It could be exactly like what we just watched, actually.
God damn it!
But with cops.
But with I see. I think the other thing too is that like I've been watching a lot of like magic shit too lately, and like watching these magic shows, like if they're not good, I'm just like fuck. I like a good magic show, you know.
Right. Well, now you have a cop show.
You know, I'm fine with that. I don't mind cop stuff.
Yes.
You know.
Um,
I like Zootopia just as much as the next person, you know.
Zootopia is a solid movie, actually.
It is a pretty good movie. Fun fact. Judy Hopps.
Fun fact. You read have you read the Judy Hopps like Nick abortion story?
What?
You haven't?
No. What
There's
the
a
fuck?
fan comic where Nick gets Judy pregnant and they have this whole discussion about making a hybrid fox rabbit baby, and Judy wants to get an abortion and Nick doesn't want to get an abortion. He's really excited about the baby. So Judy's like, well, I'm getting an abortion no matter what. And Nick is like, well, then I'm leaving you. And Judy's like, well, I got to put my career first. I'm getting this fucking baby out of me right now.
What the fuck? Why didn't Disney put that in the canon?
I don't know. But yeah, it totally exists.
It's fucking nutty.
Check it out if you want to see a fanfic about Judy Hopps breaking up with Nick over wanting an abortion.
You know what? I think I'm fine with the with not doing that.
With not doing
I think I'm okay with this. I think I can live.
For the record, Mad Bull 34 is a decent 90s cop OVA also, but
Neat.
he has a bunch of grenades tied to his pubes at one point.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
From abortions to grenade pubes.
Yeah.
The Cool Topic Podcast.
Cool Topic Podcast. Anyway, yeah, you're under arrest. I'm kind of excited for it. And I also like that it's short because that means it won't interrupt my anime flow too hard.
I really like that it's like 2 hours. Yeah.
It's
That's
2
amazing.
it's 30 minutes, 4 episodes each, not counting credits. You probably get it done in under 2 hours if you don't watch the credits.
I never watch credits. Zach, I don't even read like dialogue in games. You think I'm gonna sit through credits?
Yeah. Because of the MCU.
Well, yeah, but See, what I do is I personally vet myself beforehand to make sure there's like a good enough like post credit scene for me to stay. Like Shang-Chi is a good example of that. Like I knew there was two, but I knew the first one was like more interesting, so I didn't stay for the second one.
What I do is I watch the. All right, okay, hang on. I'm gonna call the dartboard here, so that I have an excuse to cut this out and not air it on my actual anime channel.
Fair enough.
Which, you know, means a real spicy tamale is coming.
I'm intrigued and I'm ready for it.
So, here's my spicy tamale. Here's what I do. I watch the opening to the anime, right?
Yes.
And then I watch the ending to the anime. And then, on episode 2, I don't watch the opening or the ending to the anime.
Well, yeah, neither do I, yeah.
I skip them. And the reason I wanted that not said on my anime channel and safely only on the podcast channel in this VOD is because if that was said on an anime channel, I would just start hemorrhaging subscribers.
That's fair. I feel like that's pretty standard, though.
That was a fucking take I just dropped right there.
I mean, I've always done that. Like Naruto's a good example. Like I'd always listen to, like the first song because like sometimes Naruto has some bops, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the credits, and then never again until it changes. Anime opens against the rules.
See, this is why I ended the dartboard segment right there and put this in the outro because this is too hot of a take to drop on shouting through the courts.
I mean, if it's a hot take, it's my take too. I do the same shit,
I was like, I need to end the segment. This is too spicy.
I do that. I do that with every show though, so it's not just anime. I don't have the attention span and it saves time.
I usually will skip the opening. There are some openings where I will watch the opening every time. But it's usually the opening itself has to be a fucking banger.
Yeah, mine was Demon Slayer for that because that song just rips. I love that song.
Oh, I skipped Demon Slayer. I don't remember anything about it.
Dude, that song's great.
I
love it so much having my fucking Clone Hero fucking game. Play that shit with Clone Hero.
I think the third Naruto opening.
That one's a pop.
By I don't remember their names off the top of my head. Oh no, not the third opening. The fourth one maybe? The one where they go to find Tsunade. That opening.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the first Shippuden opening. I always used to watch. The openings by I think Hiroyuki Sawano did the openings for Recreators. I usually watch those openings, and the Miyabi opening from Kikoku. What was it? Kikoku.
Which is the one I really like in Shippuden? I don't know the names of those. I just remember it goes. I don't know Japanese, but you know what I mean. That's a banger.
Yeah, flashback from Kokoku. If you haven't seen the fucking flashback opening for I'll fucking flashbacks such. The opening for Kikoku is better than Kikoku.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I was listening to the Recreators openings, the third or fourth. You know the opening. Everyone loves the opening for Naruto that I'm talking about. And the first Shippuden opening I always watch. And there's a few others, obviously. If I were to go to every anime where I think the opening is strong enough, School Rumble, both openings.
One Piece pops for me.
Both School Rumble. I don't remember any of the One Piece openings.
Really? One Piece the first couple arcs have some fucking bangers, yo.
Oh, Bleach opening 3, Ichirin no Hana.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think I'd be into the metal opening, but I kind of am.
Oh yeah, that's I think that's my favorite part of some of the openings, because like Japanese culture like loves metal too. It's like a lot of like a lot of the fucking songs are like some of these like metal hybrid songs that are so fucking dank. They're
Yeah,
so good.
yeah. The Ichiran no Hana opening is fucking
I think I
sick.
know which one you're talking about. I believe Soul Eater had like a really good, either closing or
Oh,
ending one that was like pretty good.
all of Solo Eater's openings are pretty good.
Yeah.
I used to think the first opening was better, but and I got really disappointed when it changed over to Black Paper Moon. But honestly,
Mhm.
over time, I mean, don't get me wrong, the first opening for Soul Eater is still fucking great. But Black Paper Moon has actually grown on me over time. What
Mm.
I think is even better though is the second ending. I think for Soul Eater, which is Strength by Abington Boys School. You probably haven't seen it because it's the ending credits and there's no ending credit scenes for Soul Eater. But the Abington Boys School like ending for Soul Eater is fucking top tier anime ending right there.
Yeah. There's some bops out
Oh,
there.
if we're talking about anime endings, by the way, Clockwork Planet is a terrible show that no one should watch, but its ending theme is really good. Also, better than the actual show. It's
When the
which
music is better than the show.
you know it's not great when your credits are my favorite part of your show.
Yo, fair. Fair enough. Good shit.
Yeah, yeah, good
We should
shit.
that's what we should do. We should do a stream sometime and just rank some anime songs.
Oh, like anime openings and endings?
Yeah.
I I don't know how. Oh, I really like the Angel Beats opening, but I usually skip it because I'll fucking cry. Um. Elfin Lead Lilium.
Mm.
There, I guarantee, yo, if me saying Elfin Lead Lilium on my fucking, if I had said that on my anime channel, which I'm not going to because this part has already been cut out, I guarantee you a lot of people were just like, yo, yes! Yes, Lilium. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know how we would rank these. Um,
It would be really hard because we can't technically listen to them.
yeah.
Honestly.
We would have like I don't know if we would have like a tier list or something.
Yeah, we could
Um,
probably do a tier
but
list.
I
Yeah.
don't know. But we would need someone to make the tier list.
I mean, there might be one. Hold on. Let's see. Tier
John,
maker.
here's what I will tell you. If there is a tier list, I'm willing to do this now.
All right, hold on.
I'm willing to just tack this onto the ending.
Let's see. Anime openings of animes I have watched. Holy anime openings. Let's see. Let's see what this one has. Holy anime. This has a lot of stuff that I haven't seen. It's a lot of n- like reggae shit, like normie shit.
Well, it's a lot of normie shit, but you haven't seen it?
Yeah, well,
You
yeah,
need to up your game then.
I guess so. Yeah, this next one has okay. It's got Jujutsu Kaisen on it. It's got the new Digimon theme. It's better. Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball Super. Does Dragon Ball Super have an? I don't even remember.
It does. It does have an opening.
It's not very memorable because I do not remember it. Yeah, this one kind of sucks. We'd have to make one.
We'd have to make one.
Yeah.
I think the problem is if we make our own one, then I think the problem is if we make our own tier list, then you know what we could be fun is no, I was gonna say we could make a tier list and then we could do a special stream in just the tier list.
Yeah.
Like do a special tier list stream where we both rank the same tier list. Um and we could like have people follow along
Mm.
and like mute temporarily like while we listen to the song. Just specifically, we would watch the actual opening to the show and not the
Mm.
full song. So it would usually be about like a minute 20. I don't know how entertaining that would be actually, because then we'd have to keep turning it on and off. I don't know. It could be fun, but it would have to be it would have
It'd
to
be
be
like a listen along type thing.
yeah. It'd be like, hey, get your YouTube tab open and fucking type this shit in.
Yeah, because anime music is hit and miss. Either you'll get DMCA or you won't, but it's good. Best to just not take the chance.
I would mute desktop.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. But
Yeah, I'd be down. I'd be down to do that. There's a lot of bops.
I don't. The problem is we'd have to make it ourselves, which means there's like an inherent bias to it already. Because we would have to specifically pick, like, we're not going to be like, oh, that's middle of the row, that's middle of the row. Like, we would only include the things that we find fucking atrocious or good in it. So that's where it would be better if a third party were to make a list.
Yeah. So what I think is, if we're going to do something like that, it would be just by anime, not specifically song, because that would take too long. You know what I mean? If we just put every single song, because like case in point, Naruto, like between Shippuden and Naruto,
there's like 20 or so. Yeah, no, I think only like the noteworthy openings, or like one opening per show.
Yeah, I'd be better with that. Yeah,
one opening per show would be.
Yeah,
and then so we like get like special ones in there, and then
do you have to have an account to make one? Can you just, I don't know.
Tier list, I think you need you don't need one to make one. If I had one, see, that would be great. Like, have Made make one, I'd be down for.
Yeah, you don't need an account. You just go.
You don't need one to make one. You need it to save it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just literally just I'll just use the podcast Gmail, and I'll just give her the.
But yeah, if we were to do a tier list, now I think we're just fucking around. But fuck it, it's a podcast. You never know what you're gonna get with Cold Topic. I would say like one opening per anime.
Yeah.
And then you take your favorites list on Mal just for a baseline, and you pick your favorite opening per franchise. Well, should we say franchise? Should we split Naruto and Shippuden?
Yes.
We should? Okay.
Yeah.
So
they're technically two different shows.
Okay. So if we're talking about technically two different shows, the thing I see is if we take our favorites list, the Monogatari series is one of my favorite anime. There's like 30 of those.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So let's say if a franchise is split, we'll say three openings from that whole we'll say each one episode one opening per show, 3 per franchise maximum.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because otherwise the whole list is Monogatari.
Yeah.
And
you know what will not be on that list? Dragon Ball Z, because they have some terrible openings.
And other things, I'd say we just take most popular anime, and then we can also look up like popular anime openings and maybe worst anime openings. Ooh. And we'll judge on like full presentation, I think, not just song,
Dragon Ball
but
Z
like
worst anime opening.
Huh?
Dragon Ball Z worst anime. Especially, I don't know if the Japanese version is better, but the American one's so bad.
I really, really hate the first Naruto opening, not the American one, the Japanese one.
For DBZ?
For Naruto.
Oh, for Naruto, okay.
Naruto, I really hate the Japanese first opening. If I'm the one making this, do I have to include only stuff you two know? Probably not, no.
Yeah, because we can listen to it and still have an opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm totally down with that because obviously, yeah, Dragon Rock the Dragon, yeah, it is really catchy.
Controversially, I actually like the 4Kids One Piece opening.
Fuck you, Zach. Fuck you. That's so bad.
Oh shit, we would need Moonlight Densetsu.
That's so bad.
You hear Moonlight Densetsu, you fucking pop off. Guaranteed. Every time. It's not one of my favorite anime, but I dare you to hear Moonlight Densetsu and not pop the fuck off.
Hold on, let me look it up on YouTube.
Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
How do Densetsu? No, never mind.
What are you looking up?
Oh, you're talking about
Densetsu?
talk about Sailor Moon. God damn it.
Fuck yes. Are you kidding me? You hear that?
I don't think that sounds so familiar.
It should. Never turn it back on her friends. Always stick it through to the end.
Well,
she is the one on which you can depend. She is the one called Sailor Moon.
All right, let's quit that before we get DMCA. For our amazing rendition of the Sailor Moon song.
It's the greatest rendition of Sailor Moon ever.
I always forget that you like say the like Japanese names on the thing. I'm like, why does that sound so familiar? I'm like, it's fucking Sailor Moon. Jesus Christ.
I don't think Moonlit Densetsu has an English name. I think you just type it in like I think it's just Moonlit Densetsu English version or something.
I just typed in that opening. Yeah, I typed in Moonlight Densetsu opening, and it just came up Sailor Moon. I'm like,
yeah,
God damn it.
I bet you it'll just say English opening. I don't think there is an English name for Moonlit Densetsu.
Oh, it's from Sailor Moon. I thought it was the Japanese name for Sailor Moon. Never mind. I'm special.
Look, I don't know the Japanese lyrics.
Fuck off with your Deke Dubs lyrics, you trashy millennium skull. Yeah, I can honestly say the One Piece like pirate rap is fucking awful.
Didn't Crystal bring back Moonlit Densetsu? I think it did. Oh yeah. I'm almost confident Crystal. Man, I know a lot of people don't like Crystal. I fucking love Crystal. I'm gonna watch the Eternal movies now.
Is those the newer ones?
Yeah.
I watched 2 of them with my kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna watch those now. Actually, I guess I'm gonna watch You're Under Arrest next. Then I'm gonna watch
Yeah, fun fact, I didn't know about the One Piece opening theme. The dub one until I watched like a difference between video. They're like, this is the difference between the original and the Deke dub or whatever, or the 4Kids dub, I mean. And I watched it, I'm like, this is what they chose over the actual opening of One Piece. This is ridiculous.
I don't like the original One Piece opening, actually.
You're high.
But there is a very big issue with 4Kids, which this is important to One Piece fans, which no one here is. You've watched 100 episodes of One Piece. You're not a real One Piece fan, John.
I've seen 150, actually. I'm rewatching it right now.
Okay. So, you've just started.
I'm back at Skypiea.
Okay. At the very least, you know what a poneglyph is now.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a very important, I don't know if they fix this in the like Funimation dub, but the 4Kids dub had a very big translation error with the opening, which is in the opening they talk about Gold Roger, and how someone asked him where his treasure was on right before he was executed. By the way, Gold Roger's plan makes no fucking sense, because when you look at the flashbacks in One Piece, Gold Roger is about to be executed, and then some random guy in the crowd's like, hey, Gold Roger, where's your fucking treasure? And Gold Roger's like, oh, yeah, my treasure. It's in that place. But, like, you find out that Gold Roger's whole plan was to create the golden age of piracy by getting himself executed, but this motherfucker didn't be like, hey, my treasure is here while on the gallows. He had to wait for someone from the crowd yelled up. If no one from the crowd yelled up to him about this, I don't know what his plan was. Like, the entire plot of One Piece, even though Gold Roger's plan was to tell people this bit of information before he died, he didn't open his fucking mouth until a guy in the crowd yelled at it. So the entire plot of One Piece would not have happened if that one guy hadn't been like, hey, Gold Roger, where's your fucking treasure?
Hey, guy.
Now, it is entirely possible that guy was a plant, but considering Gold Roger had a relatively small crew, and we know a decent amount of the members of people that were in Gold Roger's crew, I have a hard... Unless he paid, like, he fucking tipped someone like a 50 before being executed. I don't exactly know what his plan was. And he would have had to have done it well in advance because I believe he turns himself into Garp. So he would have had to have turned it. He would have had to have tipped this guy a 50 to call out to him from the crowd. Then turned himself into Garp for several months, and then just hope the guy shows up and asks the question. Gold Roger's plan doesn't make... Look, there's not a lot of plot holes in One Piece. Gold Roger's plan is fucking dumb.
Fair enough.
Gold Roger, I question your plan.
Not as dumb as that pirate rap, but pretty dumb.
Anyway. Yeah, about the 4Kids translation error. In the 4Kids dub, they asked Gold Roger where his plane was, and in the 4Kids version, he says he left it all in one piece. Roll credits. That's not what he said. He said he left it in that place. Gold Roger in no way implies that the One Piece, which is the name of the treasure, is in a singular... it is all together. He doesn't say that at all. He says it's in that place. Which
interesting.
It very well might be in different places. As long as it's in that place, which I believe is Raft Hill, which is the final island in the Grand Line. But...
Neat.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I guess maybe I don't want to put the work on Made since it's our idea. Maybe I'll create like a tier list and we'll make an account or something, and I'll make a tier list, and we might be maybe we do it next week or something. I don't know.
I mean, whenever you want to do it, yeah.
Yeah, because I can just do Resident Evil 5. I'm not sure how invested you are in the idea.
I mean, I did buy it.
Does that mean you're really into it or what?
I spent $5 and I'll play it. I said I'd play it.
Okay. But yeah, I think so you hit me with your favorites list is like very small though, isn't it?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Well, there's others that I can't remember off the top of my head too.
It's just like 4 anime in it, isn't there?
I mean, there's some bops though.
Strike Ball Z, Naruto Shippuden, and Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kuzuna.
You're damn right. I love you, Digimon.
So yeah, like y'all. So we'll get some ideas. Like we'll get your John. You have Magic Users Club TV marked as completed. Actually, you have it marked as watching, but you have all 13 episodes added. So that's the wrong anime.
Did I yuck that up?
You really yucked it up. You yucked it up real bad, because not only is that the wrong anime, but you had it set to watching and not completed.
You know, halfway there, right?
But yeah, you get me yours. I'll throw in mine. We can have Maid throw in some. We'll just ask for general suggestions in general, and I'll look up for like the most popular anime and most popular openings, and we'll make a day of it at one point.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm down for that. I like neat stuff like that.
I could use that email I was using for my failed blog for the tier list. We'll also create like a line for the openings. I'll try and like throw together a quick channel so we can log on, and we'll listen to them live and like mute. I wish there was a way to separate desktop audio recording. Maybe there is. Can I record window audio?
So yeah, you have to get a virtual audio cable and do it, but you can do it.
That sounds like a colossal pain in the ass.
It's actually
no offense, I would rather just mute you.
Fair enough.
But anyway, yeah, that would be an interesting idea. It'd be something to look into at the very least. Anyway, I think I'm good to wrap. I think we talked a bit about production notes at that point.
Yeah, I mean that's fun of the show, man. You never know where it's gonna go.
Impromptu idea followed by production notes. Yeah, okay. So what do you have coming up?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what's coming up. I know I'm gonna be doing this stuff with you.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I am really invested in this game. I don't know if I'm gonna stream it and just say fuck it to Spoopy month. and just kibosh the whole plan and just do that. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna take a little poll in Discord and see what everyone thinks. I mean, it's if not like whenever I'm done with this game, I'll go back to streaming. But I'm really invested right now. It's a really bad habit. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to get it because I knew this would happen. But I'm caught in the crossfire. I'm lost in the Reese's, man. So I don't know. We'll see. I have to focus really hard on work this month too because we're not doing good. So that's another thing too. So I'm pretty stressed about that shit too. So we'll see. I'll post it in Discord. If I'm going live.
Okay. What do you got going on next month? I have no fucking idea. Maybe nothing. All right, yes, Saturday Resident Evil 5 then I guess we're still on for that.
Yeah, I'm done for that.
If we want to do the yeah, I mean I could I don't know, if you have another free day other than Saturday, I could like bite the bullet and stream on an off day for that, or we could like wait till next month, I guess. It's up to you if you have the time and or energy for it.
Tuesday nights are normally the best days for me. That's when I literally have nothing going on.
Are you off on Tuesday in general?
Well, Tuesday's the my night before I don't have to work for like 2 days. That's why it's like the best day for me because then I can really just like sit down and like chill and relax.
Okay. So that could beat Fatal Frame in 2 streams. Yeah. We'll see.
I can do it. I can do another day. Yeah.
I'd have to move. I'd have to move around for Tuesday. There's a reason I don't usually. I don't think I've streamed on Tuesday in years. I'd have to move some stuff around. I might be able to do it Tuesday.
Sundays would work too.
Sunday I could do.
Yeah, Sunday. So if Sunday would work better, I could do Sundays because I get out earlier on Sundays.
Absolutely could do Sunday. However, I believe Sunday is tomorrow. There's no guarantee I can get this tier list done tomorrow.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Because I would need your answers too, and it's too late at the night for me to get your answers. So I don't think this is gonna be done by tomorrow, but maybe next week or the week after or something like that. We'll talk about it. But yeah, Sunday I can do easily.
Yeah, sounds good. We can do
Sunday. Okay, Sunday. So there you go. A Sunday, you'll probably be getting this tier list. It'll be a fun time.
It's not Halloween,
huh?
It's not on Halloween.
Just not Halloween. Yeah. For sure.
That stuff,
which is the 30th. No, Halloween. Yeah.
31st.
So either the 23rd or either the 24th or the 7th.
Yeah, we could probably do it one of those days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wouldn't be able to do it on Halloween because I promised my kid I'd go out with her for trick or treating.
Oh no, or the 17th. Oh, we have plenty of times.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we have like 2 extra weeks, so we're good. So Resident Evil Sunday. Then in the next 2 weeks, we're probably looking at the tier list, assuming I or Maid can get it done. I don't want to push too much work on Maid. I think she does enough. So I might try to do it unless she's like really invested in the idea. But I will take her suggestions for openings. I'll take anyone's suggestions for openings. I'll just throw them on there. If you've got it. You hit me with yours. I'll make like an open channel for it. Try not to watch them ahead of time though. Don't spoil yourself.
Oh no, I won't. No.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so Fatal Frame is coming up for me. I'm looking to start it Monday, probably. That'll probably take 2 to 3 streams. It's Crimson Butterfly. I believe the bad ending is the canon ending, which is the ending that always takes priority for me. It always goes canon, followed by best ending, followed by dealer's choice. So I think I get to get the bad ending for once. I think that's the ending I'm supposed to get. So that'll be fun. Perfect. And then Obscure. And then if there's extra time in the month, I'll throw in maybe another horror game. Maybe I'll do Fatal Frame 3 or something. I don't know. Because like I said, I don't know how much I'll be able to stream next year because I'm probably going to be very busy starting next year. So as far as I'm concerned, it's totally possible that like December is the last month I'll be able to stream. So I'm trying to get all my shit in.
Fair enough.
You can't get the other endings until you beat it once. Perfect. So anyway, yeah, that's what's up for me. I am setting on 20 plus anime for water. So you're hearing the announcement live. Here's the idea. I'm going to watch like 50 anime and then split water into like 4 or 5 different episodes and then release them weekly. So I don't know if they'll be out, but they're in the works. So you might be looking at either a new episode of Water by the next podcast or several episodes of Water by the next podcast. I don't know. Or none. You could be looking at none. But they're in the works. They're in the works right now. So check that out. And yeah, I think that's it for me. I think that's all that's coming for me. It looks like the next podcast is on the 6th of November.
Yeah.
All right. And is that everything?
I don't think that's it, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone knows where to find me.
So thanks for joining me, everyone. I've been here with John. Hope y'all had a good time. And yeah, I've been Sacrabalic, your envoy of hope. And
I've been John, your conqueror of dreams and sleepless nights.
Your conqueror of dreams? What kind of dreams?
You don't worry about it.
Oh, mysterious. I like it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you later.
I forgot to end the stream.
Boy, if I didn't nick